Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cincinnati, Ohio, as your Xenia Scouts are about to take on the Cincinnati Steam. Last night, your Scouts dropped a heartbreaker 3-2 to the Southern Ohio Copperheads in Athens, Ohio. In that game, Scouts with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning were able to load the bases before Levi Gilcrease watched as that last strike crossed the plate, and the dreams of getting a victory down in Athens crumbled beneath. Hello, everyone. I am Terry Lash alongside my broadcast partner, Lance Morris, and we're at Max McLeary Field here at Western Hills High School on the campus in Cincinnati, Ohio, about to watch some great baseball action on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. And Lance, what a heartbreaking loss that was yesterday.
Yeah, it's absolutely right, Terry. They lose by a score of 3-2 down in Athens, and it wasn't for a lack of trying. David Gaunt had himself another terrific game, went 3 for 4, had a solo home run to lead off the second inning, and it was just a matter of the Scouts bats not coming alive quite in time. They had the chance at the end of the game with the bases loaded, like you mentioned. It was a great job to get the bases loaded to start off that inning. It was Wyatt Hogan. He grounded out to second. Then Bravo flew out to first. Then Christian came in, got himself a base hit. Zach Wiley was pinch hit for Austin Orr, his Union teammate. And he got himself on base. And Miles Wright also got himself on base with a walk. So those guys all load the bases up. And then Levi came in and struck out looking to end the game. So to lose a game like that, it's a heartbreaker, but it was a really good team they were facing in the Southern Ohio Copperheads. It could be another team we see down the line in terms of playoff races.
Lance, there's a lot of rotation in the starting lineup as we get the first pitch of the game to Lee Solomon. Lance, who's the side coming up for the Scouts?
For the Scouts, it'll be a little different lineup than we are used to. It'll be Lee Solomon leading it off, Austin Orr, then Kyle Carnahan.
As the second pitch is in there for a strike. On the mound today for the Steam will be Hunter Dunn. Hunter is from Eastern Kentucky University. The right-hander is a Colonel. They're pitching there for a strike. Chris Django behind the plate. Tonight, calling today's game is a 1-2 count right now for Lee Solomon, batting .333 on the year as that one goes low for a ball. Thank you to everyone watching the live stream. Lance and myself will be calling every single Scouts game we can this year. It's been a pleasure giving the play-by-play accounts of the action as the 2-2 gets chopped over to third. And it's going to be misplayed over there as the sun might have gone the way of Adam Bolin. And that's going to go for an error. Lee Solomon gets on first. He needs to be wearing his glasses. And you see he's going to be checking right now. The glasses were on the tip of his cap. Needed him, put him on the brim of his eyes. And now Adam Bolin is going to correct that mistake. And Lee Solomon stands on first base. And here at the play now will be Austin Orr, the designated hitter from Union. Batting .267 on the year. He hasn't started the last 3 games due to a shoulder injury. Came in as a designated hitter in the bottom of the 9th yesterday. Now it's a swung foul backwards. Count is now 1-1. Orr started every game at shortstop before the injury. That position has been occupied by Lee Solomon the last few games. He's done a great job. Lee came into this game batting .333. Sitting on first base after that error by Adam Bolin. That one goes down for a strike from Hunter Dunn. Count is now 1-2 to Orr. Austin was walked on 4 straight pitches in the top of the 9th yesterday. And here comes 1-2. That one's low. Solomon. I guess they're going to, I'm going to correct myself. They're going to rule it a hit earlier. For Solomon, I thought for sure that was going to be ruled an error, but they're going to rule it a hit. So Solomon on first going to increase that .333 average.
I think on that one, it's not an error because I don't think he actually got any part of his glove on that one as he lost that one in the sun down at third. Quickly put some glasses on.
2-2 count now. There goes Solomon. Outside pitch. That one's in the dirt and got him. Lee Solomon gunned down by Austin Riemann. Riemann, the catcher from Missouri Baptist. What an impressive feat. We saw Solomon yesterday see a plethora of bases. He gets thrown out there. So now 1 down here in the top of the first. Austin Orr back at the plate. He's going to take a walk. That one outside. The payoff pitch misses from Dunn. He walks his first batter of the game. So after 2 batters, Dunn has 1 hit given up and 1 walk.
So that'll be the second time in the last 2 at-bats for Orr he was able to draw up a walk.
And Kyle Carnahan comes up to the plate, flew out 3 times yesterday, also sacrificed. Third baseman batting 185 on the year. That one's inside for a ball.
And Carnahan had one yesterday that got right to the deepest part of center field. Missed hitting a home run by a foot or 2.
Remember, Bob Brown staying proudly at Defense Stadium. Scouts will face this year, and that one's going to be fouled into the netting on the right side. Kyle's fly out was probably around 400 feet. At most other parks, that might have been out here. And next McLeary Field, deepest part is 397. So I think at any other stadium, Carnahan would have went yard yesterday, but all it goes is a fly out. So 1 down here in the top of the first inning. Lee Solomon caught stealing second. Here comes the pitch to Carnahan. It's going to be picked up by Dunn, but then dropped. Now he's going to throw to first. And he gets Carnahan just in time. It was almost a setup for a 1-4-3 double play. An unbelievable quick reaction by Hunter Dunn. But then he lost the ball out of his glove. Couldn't find it on the ground on the mound before he finally threw it to first base, just getting Carnahan out.
And that was a great play, like you mentioned, to stop that ball, quick reaction time. But then just lost it in his glove, popped out, and it fell around looking for it, was able to still get Carnahan over at first.
And that's going to bring up David Gaunt as he watches the first pass go by for a strike. David, after going 3 for 4 yesterday, including a monster solo shot to left field. Now batting 394 on the year. Here comes the second pitch, and that one's just foul as it goes down the first baseline. Luckily for David, because of that one would have been picked up by Max Foley at first and end of the inning. David Gaunt having a fantastic start of the season as we are in game number 9. He's tied for the lead in the league in both RBIs and home runs. And here comes the pitch, and that one swung on and missed. And that's going to be a drop third strike for David Gaunt, and he's caught swinging. That's going to do it for the top of the first inning for the Scouts. So just a quick recap. Lee Solomon gets on with a single as the ball bounces by Adam Bolin. He lost it in the sun. Thrown out at second, and probably the turning point of the inning. Just an unbelievable throw by Austin Riemann to gun down Lee Solomon. Austin Orr was then walked, and then 2 straight outs from Kyle Carnahan, which was a great play by Hunter Dunn to get his glove on it and throw him out at first. And after the strikeout by David Gaunt, Austin Orr was stranded at second base. That's going to bring out the Scouts defense and starting pitcher, Dylan Donnelly. Lance, what can you tell us about Dylan?
Well, for Dylan, he started on Sunday in the second part of the 2-game series against the Lima Locos. He went 6 1/3 inning, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, and 3 Ks. But those 3 runs are a little deceiving because it came off of 1 bad pitch that was taken for a 3-run homer. So outside of that 1 pitch, Dylan threw quite a gem in a little more than 6 innings.
Donnelly's from Pittsburgh State University, a Gorilla.
Only team with that in the nation.
You're right, Lance. Only Gorilla Nation resides in Pittsburgh State, which is in Kansas, not Pennsylvania.
He was very adamant about that when we first met him.
I believe all Gorillas are adamant about that. A lot of pride in Gorilla Nation. Dylan originally outside of Kansas City, Missouri. Big Royals fan. Scouts tonight in their baby blues, kind of like the Royals, with the gray pants. And the Steam in their home whites with the blue trim. Manager for the Steam will be Pat Hyde. And Lance, who's the side coming up for the Cincinnati Steam?
For the Cincinnati Steam, it'll be Habercorn, their center fielder, Max Foley, their first baseman from Evansville, and then it'll be Andre Jurgen, their shortstop from Xavier, right down the road here in Cincinnati.
And Habercorn is from Cincinnati University, so 2 local products, a plethora of local products. Northern Kentucky, the Norseman also in the starting lineup. We see in the 4 and 5 slots, also very close to right here in Western Hills Campus High School. in Cincinnati, Ohio. We're about to start the bottom of the first inning. 0-0. Scouts put up a goose egg after 1.
We're making Dylan take off his right arm sleeve.
So Donnelly will go back to the mound after that quick adjustment. Habercorn, a left-handed hitter, stands 6'3" from Leo, Indiana. He's a sophomore at the University of Cincinnati. He's a Bearcat. Thank you for everyone listening to this game. One quick scoring update from earlier. The Grand Lake Mariners beat the Galleon Graders by a score of 7-2. That was in Heisey Park. And here comes the righty Donnelly. First pitch in there for a strike. Dylan starts off on the right foot. So 0-1 here for Treg Habercorn. And here comes the second pitch. That one's outside. Here in Max McLeary Field. Goes 327 to the left, 397 to center, only 285 to the right, but there's a 35-foot chain link fence that stands above. Well, Lance and I are going to call it the chain link monster here in Cincinnati for the Steam.
Goes from the right corner and almost all the way to center field, so definitely quite a monster out there, even though it's only 285 down the right field line.
So here comes the 1-2. That one's going to be clipped foul to the right of the first baseline. Lincoln Reed sitting over there at first today. While Hogan got the start at first yesterday, Lincoln looks like he might see some time as a relief pitcher. Did not get the opportunity. He was warming up in the 8th and 9th innings. 1-2 count here for Habercorn. Donnelly trying to get his first strikeout of the game. Now it's yet again. Take 2 for Habercorn as he fouls it to the right of the first base line by Lincoln Reed.
And you mentioned that Lincoln might have came in as a reliever. The Scouts trailed 1 run in the 9th, and had they tied the game, they would have went to Lincoln. Had they taken the lead, they would have went to Joe Chasen.
Joe Chasen, it's a de facto closer for this team, as that one's going to be fouled towards Kyle Carnahan and out of play towards the third baseline. I thought either Kyle or Jonathan Bravo sitting in left field tonight would have made an attempt at that one, but it went towards the Scouts' bullpen and out of play. So along a bat here, a great battle between Treg Habercorn, the center fielder from University of Cincinnati, and Dylan Donnelly, the Scouts pitcher from Pittsburgh State. And here comes that 1-2 again. Just misses outside as the breaking ball cannot find the strike zone. Now we're evened up at 2-2. Donnelly did not get a win in that first game against the Locals. That went to Ben Aldridge. And here comes the 2-2 pitch, and that one's going to be hit to deep left center field. Levi Gilcrease trying to get under that one, and he does. Fighting off the blazing sun here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Made a smart heads-up play, putting those glasses on beforehand. The sun directly behind us, shining brightly on the players. The first batter out for the Steam, and that's going to bring up Max Foley, the first baseman. It's from Evansville University. That's in Illinois. Here comes the first pitch to Foley. Got him looking. Just as the last batter started, a quick strike to get ahead of the batter is Dylan Donnelly. Double D working well here, and that one is just outside for a ball. One count now to Foley. Here comes a 1-2 swing and a miss down to his knees. Donnelly gets Foley to go. So yet again, he gets the batter go down 1-2. Dylan Donnelly, one interesting quirk about him, likes to fold his socks over, trying to start a new trend here. Here comes the 1-2. That one just mixes outside. Nice frame job by Gaunt back at home plate tonight. Zach Wiley got the start yesterday. Was replaced in the 8th inning, though. Dealt with a little bit of a hand injury. Here comes the 2-2. That one's high and inside to Max Foley, who has to limbo out of the way of that one. Now we have a full count. Payoff pitch incoming from Dylan Donnelly. And here comes Donnelly's pitch, and that one's going to be hit towards right center field. And put away by Miles Wright. Good job by Miles. That was right around the warning track. Now it's around right center. 320 And like we mentioned before, though, that chain link monster providing some support from Miles in right field, but he puts it away. That's going to be the second flyout to start this game. That's going to bring up Andre Jernigan, their shortstop. First pitch high. Andre from Xavier University. A couple of Copperheads from last night were from Xavier. Thomas Wanning of the Scouts, also a Musketeer. Xavier right down the road here. Second pitch in there for a strike. Evens up the count at 1-1. Jernigan came into this game betting .381. Jernigan also leads the team in stolen bases. That ball is at the bottom of the strike zone for strike number 2. Much to the chagrin of Jernigan. And here comes Donnelly. That one's just tipped backwards into the catching equipment of David Gaunt. Jernigan stays alive at 1-2 here. We're in the bottom of the first inning. If you're just joining us, thank you for watching Xenia Scouts Baseball with Terry Lash and Lance Morris. A beautiful Saturday afternoon. Here comes 1-2. That one's going to be flown over towards first base. Can Lincoln Reed make the play? And it looks like it went a little too far. We can't see where our view is obstructed by the Steam dugout. But looks like it went out of play, and we're going to do it again at 1-2. Each of these 3 batters has had a 1-2 count against them. And now once we hit towards right field, Miles right on his giddy up, getting towards it, and makes the play. Back-to-back flyouts to Miles right, showing his range in right field. So they were all pretty well hit, but 1, 2, 3, the Steam go down. And that will bring up the Scouts back to the top of the top of the second. We have a scoreless game here, Lance.
That's absolutely right, Terry. First inning didn't go very well for either side. Lee Solomon, only guy to get a hit in that opening inning, and then was picked off trying to steal second. So outside of that, no highlights really for either team. Arsenal was able to get on with a walk in the top half of the first, and Carnahan grounded out, and then Gaunt struck out to end their half of the first. So to see if they can get something rolling here in the top half of the second.
This game started right around 7:05. It's about 7:20 now. Going here into the top of the second. So about a 15-minute first inning of scoreless baseball. Dylan Donnelly does not give up a hit. And the first 3 batters he faces, Hunter Dunn from Eastern Kentucky, the big righty, gave up a walk and a hit to Lee Solomon. But unfortunate for Hunter in that hit he gave up, because it was a big misplay over there at third base by Adam Bolin. He didn't have his sunglasses on and couldn't see the ball at all, as I just skipped right by him on the one hop and into left field. And as Lance mentioned, because it didn't hit his glove, that went as a single. So coming up for the Scouts will be Jonathan Bravo. Coming in this game, batting .300. He had a double yesterday, was stranded on third base when he was the tying run on Texas Wesleyan University. Here's the first pitch, and Bravo swinging and fouling that one backwards on the ground. Counts now 0-1 to Jonathan. Jonathan, one of a few players from Texas on this team. And here comes the other one. Now his way foul back as well. So Jonathan, behind on a couple pitches, goes to Texas Wesleyan. Here in Ohio, that's how we pronounce it, Wesleyan. We talked to our roommate Miles Wright, he says Texas Wesleyan. So a little bit of dialect difference from the southern states. And Jonathan Bravo swinging and missing. So 3 straight strikes to Jonathan. Sits him back down on the bench to start the top of the second inning. First strikeout of the game for Hunter Dunn. Hunter Dunn came into this game not allowing a run in 4 innings pitched, and his one showing this season came in for relief. Got 7 strikeouts in those 4 innings. Here comes Lincoln Reed to the plate. First pitch goes low for a ball. Back to Hunter. He gave up 3 hits. And here's the second pitch to Reed. Also low. Count is now 2-0. Good eye from Lincoln. Lincoln, from around this area, went to Archbishop Moeller High School, a powerhouse in pretty much every sport you ever imagined. And that one's going to be fouled backwards. Moeller, Won a couple state football championships last few years. Just won another state baseball title. So Dunn gets the windup and the pitch. That one's going to be fouled backwards. Count is now even at 2-2. Dunn has worked his way back in this battle against Lincoln Reed, the converted catcher from Taylor University, a third-year scout. He's been playing first base for the Scouts this year. And watches that one curve back into the strike zone. What an amazing pitch by Hunter Dunn. Leaves Lincoln Reed speechless and headed back to the bench. So 3 straight strikeouts going back to the top of the first inning for the Scouts, as Gaunt, Bravo, and Reed have all struck out in succession. That's going to bring up Christian Binger, the second baseman. First pitch in there for a strike. Binger yesterday got a hot bat in the top of the 9th inning, was able to single, and was stranded at third as the game-tying run as he swings and misses at that second one. So quickly down 0-2 as Dunn's trying to strike out the side of Scouts here. And that one's low in the dirt. Count is now 1-2 to Bing. Binger leads the team in walks. He has 6 on the year. Coming into this game batting 179. So a much better bat as of late. Here comes the 1-2, and that one's a little bit low. Count is now evened up again at 2-2. Binger from Southwest Baptist University in Texas. Originally another player outside of Kansas City, Missouri is his hometown, as that one was very borderline, but just misses outside. Binger looked back at home plate umpire Jenga saying, hey, am I still up here? He gives him the go-ahead, so now here comes the payoff. And that one's going to be hit towards the gap in right center, and Christian Binger's going to go for 2. And let's see if he stays there, and he will. So a full count double to deep left center field for Christian Binger.
That was just perfect placement right in the gap between left and center. And like you said, he's been really on the ball lately. Went 1 for 4 last night, 1 for 2 the game before that. So he's definitely hitting the ball a lot better than he was earlier on this season.
That's the best hit we've seen all season from Christian Binger. About 370 was all conquerors this year at Southwest Baptist, and that brings up Levi Gilcrease. And that one's going to be fouled to the right side. Counts now 0-1 to Levi. Levi is the center fielder from Baylor University.
And going back to that comment on Christian's hit, that's probably the best actual hit we've seen. That's not the biggest hit we've seen. Of course, had the game-winning single last Sunday.
And definitely the best cut of the bat on the ball from Binger we've seen this year. And the swing and a miss from Gilcrease, and now he's down 0-2. And Gilcrease had that unfortunate strikeout yesterday against the Copperheads to end the game. He's been batting in the 1 spot leading off for the Scouts, put all the way down to 8 in tonight's contest against the Cincinnati Steam here on Western Hills High School campus in Cincinnati, Ohio. And no one covering second base, but Christian Binger can be forced back with a look-off from Hunter Dunn. So 2 hits given up today by Dunn. First extra base one by Binger. Just in scoring position. Here comes the pitch and swung on and missed. So 3 strikeouts here on the top of the second for Hunter Dunn. 2 of them swinging, 1 of them looking. But regardless, those 3 outs add to the end of the top of the second inning with the score tied at zilches still as we go to the bottom of the second.
That'll be another strikeout for Levi Gilcrease. That'll be the 4th time he's struck out in his last 7 or so at-bats.
So Levi struggling a little bit with the bat as of recently. Let's hope he can get it going here as they progress throughout this game. Dylan Dowling coming back to the mound. Dylan went 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first inning. All flyouts. First one, Levi in center field, and Miles Wright put away the next 2. And Wright, the last one, had a bit of a charge on it. Miles had to catch it on the fly, but put it away nonetheless. Dylan, 6'2", 215 pounds going into his senior season from Raymore, Missouri, specifically outside of Kansas City, Missouri. And Lance, who's the side coming up for the Cincinnati Steam?
Coming up for the Steam, it'll be 4, 5, 6 hitters in Trey Gans. They're designated here from North Kentucky. And it'll be another guy from Northern Kentucky, and Adam Bolin, who'll be playing third. And then it'll be Alex Corna, their right fielder from Georgetown College.
Trey Gans from Northern Kentucky, another player that's a local product, another Norseman. As we'll see, Adam Bolin, his teammate at Northern Kentucky, on deck right now. Gans coming to this game, batting .381, same as Jernigan. And that one's going to be fouled out of play to the left side behind the Scouts' dugout. 0-1 count now to Gans. Trey, the designated hitter in this contest. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to him. That one's well outside. Count is now even at 1-1. Scouts coming into this game with a 6-2 mark. The Steam with a 2-3-1 mark. That's right. The Steam tied last night against the Lake Erie Monarchs. And that one goes low and away and had to be skipped over by Gans to avoid being hit in the foot there. So now 2-1 to Trey.
Pretty shallow backstop, but it appears there's a pad on the back, so who knows where those balls could go.
That one's outside as well, so 3-1 from Donnelly. Donnelly did walk 3 batters in his last appearance where he went 6 1/3. And here comes that 3-1, and that one is inside, and he'll walk Gans. So the first base runner of the game for the Steam is Trey Gans, as he strolls over down there to have a conversation with Lincoln Reed. And that's going to bring up his Norseman teammate at Northern Kentucky, Adam Bolin. He's the third baseman. We saw him have a misplay to start this game off, allow Lee Solomon to get a hit. And here comes Dylan Donnelly. Wind up in the pitch. That one's a little bit high, so the ball streak continues for Donnelly. Counts now 1-0. Bolin comes in this game batting .308. There's the pickoff attempt towards first. Lincoln catches it and back to Donnelly. I don't think that's doing any more than keeping Gans honest there over at first base. Gans, a towering presence, actually towers over Lincoln Reed a little bit, and that was in the dirt, and good block by David Gahn, because like you said, Lance, that gets by David. There's a padded backstop, and you don't know where it's going to go. It could take a wild and crazy bounce everywhere. It can make it really very difficult for a catcher to make a play. And here comes the 2-1, and that was inside. That's now 3-0. Donnelly trying to avoid giving a back-to-back Watts to start at the bottom of the second inning here. Pickoff attempt. Gans is easily safe. 3-0 now to Bolin, and here comes the pitch, and that one's in there for a strike. Bolin looks like he was ready to walk on down to first base. He's going to be called back. Home plate umpire Jenga, Chris Jenga, says get back here, and now it's 3-1. Here's that 3-1 pitch, and that's going to be chopped over to Carnahan, and that's 5, that's 4, and that's 3, and that's going to make the nice double play. Kyle Carnahan, a Christian Binger to Lincoln Reed. So just like that, that sits down the 4 and 5 hitters in the lineup, and Dylan Donnelly gets out of any trouble he was possibly in. That's going to bring up Alex Corner, the right fielder from Georgetown College, and he's swinging at the first pitch, flying towards left center, and that's going to be put away by Gilcrease. His second put out of the night, and just like it was in the first inning, 1, 2, 3 go down the Steam. A walk by Trey Gans to start this one off, and then along a bat by Adam Bolin, where he got 3 straight balls to start off, then grounds into a 5-4-3 double play. Good job by Kyle Carnahan picking up the chopper out of that one and starting that up. And then first pitch swinging was Alex Corner, the right fielder from Georgetown College, which is in Kentucky. Something I told Lance I would hatch again in the broadcast. Georgetown College's most notable alumni, Billy Ray Cyrus. And to make sure everyone at home knows that we have a Billy Ray Cyrus connection here in the game between the Scouts and the Steam. Alex Corner came into this game batting .400, the best on the team, the right fielder. But he was set down there if he flew out to center field and Levi Gilcrease. And that's going to bring out the Scouts here. And the top of the third inning, Hunter Dunn, last inning got 3 strikeouts, now has 4 for the game, 11 for the year. And Lance shoots the side coming up for the Scouts.
For the Scouts, it will go 9-1-2. Will be led off by right fielder Miles Wright, who went 1 for 3 last night, and also the game before. He's coming into today with a .250 average, and that's also exactly what he batted at St. Ed's this past season. And coming up after him will be shortstop Lee Solomon, who got a hit in his first at-bat, but then was caught stealing, trying to swipe second. And after him, it will be designated hitter for tonight, Austin Orr, who walked to get on in his first at-bat of the inning and was stranded.
So Miles Wright up to the plate. Yesterday he went 1 for 3 with a double, also was walked in that top of the 9th inning. In a dramatic situation, he had a full count, 3-2, and got that last ball to load the bases. Here comes his first pitch to him tonight from Hunter Dunn, and that's going to be high for a ball. Back to last night, that walk loaded the bases before the strikeout from Gilcrease ended the game. Very high drama situation down in Athens. And second pitch in there for a strike. Miles checks at it, but it goes by for a strike anyway. Evens it up at 1-1. Miles from St. Edward's University in Austin, Texas. And here comes the 1-1. And he's swinging, and it hits the third base. Actually clips the end of the bag. And Miles Wright's going to try and make it into 2. And an errant throw. And he's in there safely. So, really extending that one. I think that caught Adrian Marquez by surprise. I don't think he was thinking Miles is going to extend that single into a double. The throw to Danny Carrier was a little high. Couldn't apply the tag in time, and the first slide by Miles Wright. He's going to be good for his second double in as many days.
And it's all because of the McDonald's he ate this morning, Terry.
Yes, it was. And here's Lee Solomon bunting. That one's going to go behind us over the tall netting here. So that one got the top of the barrel. That's going to be the first strike for Solomon, who singled his first time. Hit it over to Alex Bolin. Solomon is from Lipscomb University. And here comes the 0-1 to Lee. And that one's going to be hit in the dirt. And it's a foul ball. It was a good job that time by Austin Riemann to catch it in the air off the tip of the plate and tag Solomon just in case. But Lee knew it was going to be a foul. Count is now 0-2 to Lee, originally from Gahanna, Ohio, in Columbus. Went to Columbus Academy in high school. And that one is in there for a strike. Thought that one might have been a little low, but Solomon is caught looking. That would be number 5 on the strikeout total today for Hunter Dunn.
The reason we thought that was a bit low was because it was a bit low, Terry. I think that one just a little out of the strike zone.
Yeah, I think Lee got a bad rap on that one, but nevertheless is going to go to Austin Orr, who walks his first time up. That one's in there for a strike.
What I'm starting to gather is I think that this is a fairly big strike zone, because I don't know if that one was truly a strike either.
Chris Jenga at the plate. Let's see how that strike zone deviates throughout the game, and that one is a little bit low for a ball. Count as that 1-1 to Austin Orr. Orr, who walks his first time, is able to get to second before being stranded in scoring position from Union University in Jackson, Tennessee, where Austin's hometown resides. And then he's going to chop that one over towards shortstop, and then it's going to be a throw to first, and Austin is going to be put up by Andre Jernigan. He gets to the Max Foley just in time. Austin Orr, one of the speedier players on this team, but can't run that one out, but he does advance Miles Wright to third.
So, yeah, great job hitting that one in a good enough spot to make sure that Miles did get over from second to third, but there are 2 down here in the top of the third.
That's going to bring up Kyle Carnahan, one of the 2 players from Washburn University in Kansas. First pitch inside for a strike to Kyle. Our statistician Jeff Conner called Kyle the boulder yesterday after he got hit by a pitch for the fourth time this season that leads the team. And his second pitch is going to be fouled backwards, so quickly Kyle goes down 0-2.
Last night I was in the van on the way back to Xenia talking a little bit with Kyle and David, of course, Washburn teammates. Said Kyle had around 17 hit by pitches this past season at Washburn. So being the leader on the team in hit by pitches, nothing new for Kyle.
He's got some thick skin, and he's swinging at that one, and it's going to go off of the glove of Adam Bolin. Let's see if they rule that one a single or an error. I think that one should go down as a single. But nevertheless, we'll find out what the ruling of that one is. But it's going to be 1-0 Scouts on the RBI. From Carnahan, they go roll an RBI single. That one was well hit from Carnahan. And he singles home a run. So 1-0 Xenia here in the top of the third inning. After the double from Miles Wright, he was advanced from Austin Orr on that 6-3 putout, then singled home by Kyle Carnahan. And that's going to bring up David Gaunt. Here comes the pitch. That one's in there for a strike to David. Gaunt came into this game batting .394. Homered yesterday. A monster shot, his third of the year. That one's hit a mile high in the sky, completely clear blue skies. And that one's going to be put away as that ball comes tumbling back down to the earth. Good job by Max Foley. Put that one away at first base, but the Scouts go down in the top of the third. They score, though, a run from Miles Wright on the single from Kyle Carnahan, and going to the bottom of the third, it's 1-0 Scouts. Thank you for listening to us on our live web stream. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, paying attention to XeniaScouts.com. Recently put a live Twitter feed on there. Always have game recaps. Got player links that have links back to the profiles of their colleges, their goals for the summer, both spiritually and physically. And as all the Scouts, including Lance and myself, try to grow as followers in Christ this summer. I also have the Scouts schedule, which lists not only the game recaps, but also the scores for all the games. And also gives a little bit of information about every park the Scouts will play at this year. So give XeniaScouts.com a click and go ahead and check out the site.
And interesting side note that I've gathered from van rides to and from the various places these last couple weeks. Out of the guys on the infield, you look at David Gaunt and Kyle Carnahan, both from Washburn. Christian Binger over at second base from Southwest Baptist. And Dylan Donnelly on the mound from Pittsburgh State. All of them play in the same conference during their collegiate season, so they've all been talking about their experiences against each other and their experiences against other teams in the league, talking about stadiums and whatnot. And I know that next year they are already prepared to play each other. So interesting enough, when you have a pitcher and a catcher from rival schools, they talk about it often, the Ichabods and the Gorillas. And they both grow and celebrate with Christ, of course, and then getting ready for the collegiate season next year, both of their senior seasons.
And here comes the pitch to Austin Remus. We saw him with a big throw out earlier. Austin Remus batting .083 on the young season, so he's been struggling. Second pitch to him is a ball. Riemann from Missouri Baptist University, and that one's in the dirt as well. So quickly 3 balls to Austin Riemann. We know he has a gun from behind the plate, but he also appears to have eagle eyes. He's watched those 3 go past him. So Dylan Donnelly going to have to work from behind against the first batter of the bottom of the third inning. And that one's in there for a strike, inside corner from Donnelly. And as you mentioned, Lance, a lot of D2 players here. We got all other mascots. We got Gorillas, Ichabods, and Bull Weevils as that fourth one goes for a ball. So the second walk of the day from Dylan Donnelly.
Yeah, that's something a lot of the guys mention often, they say Division II has some of the best mascots, and you just hit some of the highlights. There are plenty more that if I looked at a list, I would say, wow, that one's crazy. I don't know a bunch of D2 mascots off the top of my head, so I'm not going to even try.
My favorite I heard was a team in David and Dylan's conference, the Mule Riders. And here's a bunt being laid down. That was in the dirt. We're going to have a throw over towards second from David Gonan. In there in time, and that one looks like it's going to be a wild pitch from Dylan Donnelly. That's going to advance Austin Riemann to second in scoring position. Danny Carrier at the plate. Should have watched that one bounce in front of him as he was going to lay down the bunt. See if he's still going to try to lay down the bunt. Danny from East Tennessee State, batting 111 on the year. 8th man in this lineup. Swinging a little bit behind that one. Fouls it backwards. Evens it out at 1-1. But this is the first time of the game that runners advance to scoring position for the Steam. 1-1 count here. No outs. Bottom of the third inning. Scouts up by a score of 1-0. Dylan Donnelly on the rubber. Still hasn't dealt his first hit of the game. Here comes the pitch, and that was swung on and missed. As Carrier's behind on that one. Dylan Donnelly now up in the count 1-2. Trying to get that first strikeout of the game and keep Austin Riemann over there on second base. And here comes the 1-2. That one's going to be fouled to the right side behind the Steam bullpen. Lucky fan. Try to get that one and return it to the dugout. It's now 1-2. Here in right field, we see Western Hills High School practicing football. Here goes the pitch, and that one is a little bit low. He evens him back up at 2-2. Here to Danny Carrier. So, 1 man on, no man out. Here in the bottom third, 1-0 Scouts. Dylan Donnelly, he throws the 2-2, and that one's a bit high. Full count again, as this is the second full count we've seen this game. We saw Adam Bolin get full.
I don't know how much lower you want him to go on that high one. That one was beneath the belt.
And here comes the payoff. That one's going to be fouled backwards again. The righty Danny Carriers flying them all to opposite field behind us. Three-two count here for Donnelly. They're going to do it again. And here comes D-Squared's pitch, and that one's way, way high. So walks to the first two batters here in the bottom of the third inning. Dylan Donnelly trying to find that strike zone. She has 3 walks on the game. Still hasn't given up a hit, though. And that's going to bring up Adrian Marquez from Wright State, which is in Dayton, Ohio. Xenia, of course, a suburb of Dayton, to the east of it. So Adrian Marquez plays his baseball right down the road from Grady's Field. Still looking for his first hit on the Great Lakes League season. Runners on first and second. No outs here in the bottom of the third. First pitch is high. David Gahn has to get out of his haunches to catch that one. Count is now 1-0 to Adrian Marquez, the left fielder. Austin Riemann from Missouri Baptist, the catcher, on second, and Danny Carrier, the second baseman, on first. And here comes the pitch, and that one is just a bit outside. Count is now 2-0, and David Gahn's going to take some time to talk to Dylan Donnelly, maybe try to calm him down a bit. Scouts in a little bit of a predicament with no outs here in the bottom of the third. Runners on first and second. A 1-0 lead, though, for the Xenia Scouts. That was scored here in the top of the third inning as Miles Wright led off the inning with a double. And was advanced by Austin Orr from second to third, and then singled home by Kyle Carnahan. And after a fly out from David Gahn to first base, that ended the inning for the Scouts.
A few quick score updates. Lake Erie Monarchs on top of the Lorain County Ironman 1-0. They're in the bottom of the third, and the Lima Locos trail the Hamilton Joes 3-1. They're also in the bottom of the third.
So 2-0 count here to Adrian Marquez. Donnelly gets a sign, and he throws. And he finds his groove. Gets a strike there, and now the count is 2-1. Good job Veteran play by David Gaunt to go out there, calm his pitcher down. A lot of chemistry built by these players already. Almost through 2 full weeks of action here. And there's a bunt attempt. And misses, so it's going to go for a strike as he was about a fourth of the way to first already on the bunt attempt. So 2-2 here for Marquez. Steam came in this game 2-3-1. They tied the Monarchs last night after a lightning in the 11th inning caused the game to end. And they go back to the 10th inning. Here's the 2-2, and that one is a bit high for a ball. Count is now full again. Another 3-2 count, this time to Adrian Marquez. The last time it was full, it was a pitch high to Danny Carrier. Dylan Donnelly desperately trying to avoid walking the bases here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1-0 Scouts. Payoff pitch. And that one's high, just like last time. And the bases are loaded. So the bottom of the order is walked in succession. And we're back to the top of the lineup with Treg Habercorn, who flew out to center field last time. Maybe it's as far as he did before. Even the great gun of Levi Gilchrist won't be able to throw out Austin Riemann at the plate. So very, very dangerous situation now for the Xenia Scouts with bases loaded and nobody on. And here comes Coach Bubba Cates from Mississippi. Going to talk to Dylan Donnelly. David Gaines is going to join him for a triangular brain trust. So here, in the bottom of the 3rd inning, bases loaded, no out. Scouts up by a score of 1-0. Miles Wright is the lone scorer of this game. This Lincoln Reed makes it a square brain trust now. I have to think that Dylan Donnelly is trying to get another double play. We saw him one back in the bottom of the 2nd inning. A 5-4-3 as a chopper was easily fielded by Kyle Carnahan, thrown over to Christian Binger, and then relayed to Lincoln Reed at first base. They can use one right here. It would give up a run, but it would put 2 outs away. Dylan Donnelly allowed 3 walks in 6 1/3 innings of pitch in his game on Sunday against the Locos. Already has 4 here through 2 innings pitched. In the bottom of the 3rd with no outs, bases loaded. Back to the top of the order for the Cincinnati Steam. Here in Max McLeary Field on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Here's the first pitch. Now misses outside. Count is now 1-0.
I mean, Dylan's not perfectly hitting his spots, but I feel like there's a lot of pitches that are close that are all have been called balls so far.
1-0 count here. That one's going to be lined and just misses, clipping that first base foul line. That's going to even it up at 1-1. So it's going to be 52 pitches in, and we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1-1 now to Treg, and he swings and misses at that one. That's now 1-2, so Dylan gets up on the batter for the first time this inning. He could really use a strikeout. It's first of the game. And there's Habercorn here, the center fielder from Cincy, who flew out to Levi Gilchrist in his first at-bat. Start off the hitting in this game for the Steam. And here comes that pitch, and that's a bit high. The breaking ball does not drop in the zone. Evens up the count at 2-2. And here comes the 2-2 pitch, and that one's going to be lined over towards short. Solomon picks up, throws it to Binger, throws it to the first, not in time. It was bobbled by Lee Solomon at shortstop. And they can't turn two. The 6-4-3 was set up perfectly, but a bobble by Solomon is going to make the force out at second. The only Steam member to go down. Adrian Marquez is going to be sent back to the dugout for the fielder's choice RBI by Trek Habercorn. Is going to even up this game at 1 apiece. So now runners on the corners, first and third. And that one's going to be lined over to Solomon, who cannot grab that one. That's hit in the left center gap, as there's going to be a misstep by Habercorn at second, but gets back in time. So the first hit of the game given up by Donnelly is a single to Max Foley. And now it is 2-1 Steam in the bottom of the third inning.
There wasn't too much that Donnelly could do on that one. That one lined just over the head of Solomon at shortstop, and that's one of the disadvantages of having a smaller guy at a infield position is they're not going to be able to reach up and grab some of those crazy high ones that some more, not that he's not athletic, he's just a smaller guy. Some of those smaller guys can jump as high as they want but can't quite get to that one, and that was the case there for Solomon.
Lee Solomon stands at 5'10". Austin Orr, a 3-inch shifter, is a 6'1", who we usually see at shortstop. I don't know if he would have been able to make the play there or not. So runners on first and second as Andre Jernigan comes up. He flew out to right field last time. First pitch goes high to him. Count is now 1-0 as Donnelly faces his sixth batter of this inning here in the bottom of the third. He's only got one out. Here comes the 1-0, and that one's going to be fouled backwards to even it up at 1-1. 2-1 is your score here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Scouts trail the Steam. Dylan Donnelly has walked 4 batters so far in this game through 2 in the third. Dylan looking at Habercorn on second, and that one's going to be fouled back again. Jernigan disappointing himself on that one as he's just a little bit behind. Scouts tried to turn 2 last time, or a couple of batters ago, were unable to do so. That's why Habercorn sitting there on second base right now with his leadoff, and he's running, and David Gunn's going to try to throw him out, and he will by a mile. Treg Habercorn didn't stand a chance as David Gunn guns it to his Ichabod teammate Kyle Carnahan to apply the tag head on to Treg Habercorn. So he'll be out at third base, and that's going to be 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning. Max Foley does steal second, though.
And that one was just kind of poor decision-making, trying to just take advantage of something that wasn't really there.
Here comes the pitch, and that one's going to be fouled backwards again. A little bit behind still is Andre Jernigan, the shortstop from Xavier University. Came in this game batting .381. Ties for second best on the team with Trey Gons, who is on deck right now. Here comes the pitch from Donnelly. That one's going to be low breaking. That's heading towards Miles Wright in right field. And for the second straight time in a row, Andre Jernigan flies out to right. And that will end the third inning. But not before the Steam put up a couple runs due to 3 walks to start the inning in the bottom of the order from Dylan Donnelly. After those 3 walks to load the base of none on a fielder's choice from Trey Habercorn, scored Austin Riemann. And then an RBI single that was just above the outstretched glove. Elise Solomon from Max Foley made the first lead of the game for the Steam. And that gets us our total here at a 2-1 score.
And a quick check at the out-of-town scoreboard. Like you mentioned, the Grand Lake Mariners beat the Galion Graders 7-2 earlier today. The Lake Erie Monarchs still on top of the Lorraine County Ironman 1-0 there in the top of the fourth, and the Hamilton Joes on top of the Lima Locos 3-1 that game in the bottom of the fourth.
Interesting matchup right there between the Joes and the Locos. We have not seen Hamilton yet this season. Scouts split with the Locos 1 game apiece. They lost the first one in Lima by a score of 15-7 as they were absolutely lit up in that contest, but came back the next day. You got the come from behind 4-3 victory on the bat of Christian Binger as he had the game-winning 2 RBI single back in Grady Seal. That will be a week ago from tomorrow, as it was last Sunday. Lance, who we have coming up to the side for the Scouts.
For the Scouts, it'll be led off by Jonathan Bravo. He struck out in his last at-bat.
And that first one's in there from a strike. Hunter Dunn still on the mound for the Steam.
And then after him, it'll be Lincoln Reed, who also struck out in his last at-bat, and then it'll be Christian Binger, the second baseman.
And that one's going to be hit towards second, and is unable to make the play as Danny Carrier goes off his glove. That's going to be a single for Jonathan Bravo. He's now 1 for 2 in the game.
Now ready for Xenia, the first baseman, number 20, Lincoln Reed.
Jonathan Bravo sitting over there at first base. That brings up Lincoln Reed, local kid from Cincinnati, Ohio, playing the Cincinnati Steam. We're on first. He shows bunt, and he lays one down. They're going to throw towards second, and they get the force out. And Lincoln's safe at first. We almost saw a 1-6-3 as the bunt didn't go far enough, and the lead runner, Jonathan Bravo, was thrown out at first. So not what Lincoln Reed had in mind. He says he gets on with the fielder's choice bunt. Just didn't get it out of the outstretched reach of Austin Riemann. Riemann has shown off he has quite a cannon for a right arm. And that brings up Christian Binger. Watches that first pitch go by for a ball. Binger had a double to left center field his first time up. Lincoln Reed sitting over there at first base, and then he's hitting on over the third baseman, and Binger is 2 for 2 in this one with the single to the left field. Anna Bolin tried to jump up and catch that one, but not even close as Binger is hot today. There'll be runners on first and second now. Lincoln Reed advances on the single from Christian Binger. So 2 hits here in the top of the 4th inning. That's going to be the 4th hit of the day given up by Hunter Dunn.
We'll go from a guy who's hot at the plate to a guy who's cold at the plate in Levi Gilcrease.
Gilcrease struck out last time. Watches that first go for a ball. Count is now 1-0. One's well outside.
But as David said in one of our interviews the other day, said hitting's contagious, so they got a couple guys on using the bat.
And looks like a payoff time. Lincoln Reed sliding back in the second one. No one's there. Host family can't be happy about that. He's going to have to wash that jersey later in case Scouts wear those baby blues back at Grady's Field tomorrow night, as there's games going to be a rematch between these two teams. And that one's going to be lined over to right field, and it's going to be in there for a single. So Levi Gilcrease ends that slump with a single. Alex Corner looked like he might have misplayed that one a bit. He was ranging to his right, stutter step, kind of fell down a bit, now grabbing at his ankles. Might have had a misstepping back in the field. So now one out here in the top of the 4th with bases loaded for Miles Wright, who doubled last time. So Miles, a product from St. Edward's University, is throwing bunt. And it's going to be a strike. Misses that one. I don't know if I agree with that. Lincoln Reed over there at third. Athletic player, but not the fastest in the world. He's going to have to come all the way in home. There's going to be a force out at the plate. One out here. Bases loaded. Hunter Dunn, he deals. That one's low in the dirt for a ball.
I think the thinking with that is Miles, one of the better bunters on this team, so if he gets it down the line long enough, then you don't have to worry about whether or not Lincoln's fast as long as he's on the move.
Definitely a risky call. Wonder if that one's coming from head coach Bubba Cates, and that one's a bit outside for a ball. Miles watches it go by. Count is now 2-1 to Miles Wright. Through 3 in the third here. Hunter Dunn has 5 strikeouts, and he's given up 3 hits and a walk. Usually 4 hits and a walk. Here comes the 2-1. That was in there for a strike, so evened up to Miles Wright. 1 strike away from his 6th of the day.
He still has Spider-Man in his bag. He's trying to add the belt to that as well.
Bases loaded for Miles Wright. 2-2 here, and here comes that pitch, and that one's going to be just tipped off. It looked like, I thought even check swing.
Yeah, that wouldn't even qualify as a check swing.
Yeah, that was just off the edge of the barrel of his black bat, and it's fouled backwards. And it keeps it at 2-2, and we'll do it again. Miles Wright in a tough spot here with a lot of pressure on. Bases loaded. Binger at second, Reed at third, and Gilcrease at first. Scouts down to the Steam by a score of 2-1. They lost the game to the Copperheads yesterday, 3-2, trying to avoid their first losing streak of the season. Now one's going to be hit down the third base line. Miles Wright singles over towards second. He's going to go for a double. That's going to bring home 2. And that's going to be the 2nd straight double for Miles Wright. And it's in the exact same location as he hits it on a rope right by that third base bag. And that sends home Lincoln Reed and Christian Binger. And the Scouts retake the lead, 3-2 here in the top of the 4th.
As great as that hit was, I think that happened because we've been bugging him so much that he only bunts.
I don't know if we can take full credit, Lance, but I will take partial credit. That is my style. Runners on second, third, both in scoring position for Lee Solomon. That one's foul to the right side, swinging at the first pitch. So now 3 runs given up by Hunter Dunn here. As he's 3 1/3 in, 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Miles Wright with a 2 RBI double. 1 out count to Solomon. Miles at second, Gilcrease at third. And that one's inside for a ball. Solomon starting off the lineup for the first time in the season. His 5th game with the team. He came a little late because his University of Lipscomb was playing so deep into the college baseball season. He fouls that one back. Count is now 1-2 to the lead. It's 1 for 2 this game. He singled, started off the game, and then he struck out looking last time on a very questionable call. Count is now 1-2 to the shortstop, Lee, whose father also went to Lipscomb University as well, Lipscomb in Tennessee. One of 3 players that play their college ball in Tennessee. 2 players from Union and Jackson. Swung on, that's going to be chopped over towards second base and passed. Danny Carey, and that's going to go to center field, and that's going to bring home a couple of runs. So an RBI single by Lee Solomon extends the Scouts' lead by 2, and your score is 5 Xenia Scouts, 2 Cincinnati Steam. And here in the top of the 4th inning, 4 runs for the Xenia Scouts.
Yeah, Scouts have just broken it open. In this one, they've had some very well-placed hits. Miles' hit was right down the third base line for the 2nd time in a row. And then that one from Solomon just right out of the reach of the second baseman carrier. So it's better to be lucky than good. As long as you're getting the bat on the ball, good things tend to happen.
So the chopper is effective for Solomon. That's going to bring up Austin Orr, who check swings and misses at that first one, or at least half swings at it. And this will be the 7th batter that Dunn has faced here in the top of the 4th inning, as the pickoff attempt is close, but Lee Solomon sliding back in time, dirtying the baby blue jersey a little bit after he just got a 2 RBI single. Lee's now 2 for 3 in this contest. Here comes the 0-1 to Austin. That one's outside. He evens it back up at 1-1. Orr is 0 for 1 in this game. He walked in the 1st inning, was straight in on 2nd, and grounded it out to short last time. From Union University, he's batting .267 on the year. His first start in 4 games. Here comes the pitch. It swung on and missed at that one. Got a whole lot of air, did Austin. Count is now 1-2 to Orr.
Almost sounded like by the time he swung at that, it was already in the glove.
So we haven't seen a steal attempt from Lee Solomon. He was caught stealing back in the top of the 1st. Here comes the 1-2. And he watches that one go by for a strikeout. Another one looking for Hunter Dunn. That's the third strikeout he's got in the game. Our Scouts were just looking at that one go by. That'll be a 6 strikeout total. Came in this game with 7, now has 13. 1 off the league lead coming into today. So Lee Solomon on first for Kyle Carnahan. First pitch outside for a ball. Count is now 1-0. Carnahan, last time he was up, had a single right off the third base glove, and he got home Miles Wright on that RBI. That was the first run of the game. Now a 5-2 score, and Lee Solomon's going. That one's hit to center field. And Habercorn is going to get under that one. And that will do it for the Scouts here on the top of the 4th inning, but not before they put a big 4 on the scoreboard. Now the Scouts lead by a score of 5-2. Lance, what a great inning for the Scouts.
Yeah, you really can't say much more about it. And then it was a great inning. It was led off by Bravo, had a nice base hit. And Lincoln Reed came up, had not the best bunt in the world, but a good enough bunt. It got Bravo out at second, but he was able to stay at first on the fielder's choice. And then Christian Minger with a nice base hit. Same goes for Levi Gilcrease to break out of his mini little slump, as we now have Joey Levitt coming into the ball game as the new pitcher. Miles Wright with a nice double down the third base line. Second time today, he hits it right down the third base line. Second time today, he gets a double. And then Solomon comes up. He has a nice little base hit for 2 RBIs. Austin strikes out. and then Kyle flies out to center field, and that is what happened in the top half of the fourth inning.
So Dylan Donnelly goes 3 innings. He gives up a couple of earned runs. He only allows 1 hit, though, but it had 4 walks. That was his undoing. That's going to bring up Joey Levitt. Joey's had 3 appearances this season. Has been one of the most consistent relievers on this team for the Scouts. It's absolutely phenomenal. Actually was awarded player of the game once. Joey's had 7 innings pitched. He's allowed 5 hits and a couple of walks with 6 strikeouts, and he was actually awarded a win and has no earned runs. Joey from Cypress College in California we say this every time, but it's a nice little tidbit. His dad's a scout for the Minnesota Twins. Joey likes to talk about that.
Yeah, and I mentioned this before, but again, we had a nice little best athletes of all time draft in our van coming back from one of the away games earlier this week. Joey's first pick, Joe Mauer of, you guessed it, the Minnesota Twins.
And we're going to start back in the bottom of the 4th, and it's going to be grounded over to second base, easily put away by Binger, and thrown to Lincoln Reed at first. So Trey Gans, who starts off this 4th inning, is going to ground out for his first out of the game. And that's going to bring up Adam Bolin. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Joey Levitt, who is going into his 8th inning of work on the season. This is the earliest he's been called into a game all year long. And here comes the pitch to Bolin. And that was in there for a strike. So Bolin's looking that one on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. The sun's starting to set a little bit. Still shining bright. You see Levi Gilchrist with his glove over his face. Now it's a little high for a ball. Levitt now 1-1 to Bolin. Bolin came in this game batting .308 from Northern Kentucky. Run out in that 5-4-3 double play back in the bottom of the 2nd. Here's the 1-1 outside for a ball. David Gaunt lets it get past him a little bit. And it's going to be a 2-1 count now for Bolin. Bolin's had a hard day over there at 3rd. He watched the first ball bounce by him for a game and seen a couple of RBIs scored on balls hit near him. And that one is going to go for a strike as Bolin's swinging and hacking away and missing. Evens it up at 2-2. Both of Miles Wright's doubles went right down the 3rd base line. He had a nice try catching like Kyle Carnahan. RBI single as well. And here comes the 2-2 pitch and swung on and missed. Dropped by Gaunt. He's going to make the throw over to Lincoln Reed at first, and he gets him. So the first strikeout of the game for Joey Levitt, and that'll be his 6th on the year.
That's the first strikeout for any of the Scouts pitchers, as Dylan Donnelly didn't have a strikeout in his 3 innings of work.
The Alex Corner will come out to the plate, the right fielder from Georgetown College. He flew out to center last time, and to Levi Gilchrist, who looks like he's eating his glove over there. And it's going to be fouled backwards. A very sunny day here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Scouts dealing with the elements. 0-1 count now to Alex Corna. Joey Levitt rises and fires, and he drops that one on a plate. What a job. That one falls off the table for Joey Levitt. 0-2 count now. Levitt trying to get out of this 4th inning. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on and missed. And they're going to throw to the first as it was dropped. And yet again, another strikeout from Joey Levitt. Gets the 5-6 batter swinging, and quickly 2 strikeouts for Joey Levitt, who came into this game with 3 appearances with only 5 and now has 7 on the year, as he comes in for Dylan Donnelly in relief and gives the Scouts relief in the bottom of the 4th inning as he gets the Steam to go down 1-2-3. Trey Gans grounded out to 2nd on the first pitch, and then a couple of strikeouts to Adam Bolin and Alex Corna. That's going to send us to the top of the 5th inning. Scouts 5, Steam 2.
Now to check in with the out-of-town scoreboard in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. As we mentioned previously, the Mariners beat the Galion Graders 7-2. The Lake Erie Monarchs now trail the Lorain County Ironman by a score of 4-1. That game is in the top of the 5th, and once again, the Hamilton Joes still on top of the Lima Locos 3-1, also in the 5th inning, but they are in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
And Lance, what's the side coming up for the Scouts?
For the Scouts, it will be David Gaunt to lead things off. He's 0 for 2 so far today after going 3 for 4 in his previous 2 games. And then it will be the guy who led off the big 4th inning in Jonathan Bravo. And after him, it will be first baseman Lincoln Reed.
So a huge inning back in the top of the 4th for the Scouts. They put 4 across the plate as the 6 through 9 men all scored. Lincoln Reed, Christian Binger, Levi Gilchrist, and Miles Wright. And the lone player that did not get the bat last inning, David Gunn at the plate. He's going to be fouling back towards us on the first pitch. It's going to be 0-1 from David. David came with the best batting average on the team at .394. Best slugger in the league, leading the league in home runs and RBIs, but not afraid to throw out a bunt here and there. 0-1 now. Dunn still on the mound. And there for a strike, and quickly David Gaunt is down 0-2. And he's also 0-2 for the game. He flew out to first last time. Here comes David. And he's hitting that one deep to left field. And it is gone. David Gaunt goes the distance for the 4th time of the season. And the 0-2 pitch goes bye-bye. David Gaunt was tied for the league in home runs, now leads the league in home runs with 4. And a hat tip for Jonathan Bravo, and the torrid streak of big-time hitting from David Gaunt continues.
I can tell you that one came courtesy of a s'mores Pop-Tart he had in the van ride on the way over here. I forgot to mention yesterday that he had some mini chocolate frosted donuts before his home run last night.
Thank you, Lance Morris, for all dietary updates. Now Jonathan Bravo back at the plate, swings and misses at the first pitch. Count is now 0-1 to Bravo, who singled his last time up. David Gaunt makes this a 6-2 game. That one's high for Jonathan Bravo. David Gaunt was actually recently offered a spot on the system of the Texas Rangers. They told him they were going to draft him. He declined it, wanted to come back for his senior year at Washburn University, play with what he called a great group of Christian guys. A very bold decision. We talked about it as Jonathan Bravo goes down for the 2nd time today, swinging. We all sat around at our discipleship, and David gave a great speech, very powerful, very empowering, and just such a bold decision. And what a great young man David Gaunt is, and what a young man with a powerful bat as he went a long ball for the 4th time this year. That's going to bring up Lincoln Reed, and he swings and misses at that one. Jonathan Bravo just struck out here in the top of the 5th inning. So they 0-1 to Lincoln. Swung and a miss. Now it's 0-2 to Lincoln. 1 out here. 6-2 Scouts from Max McLeary Field. Terry Lash and Lance Morris bring you all the action as we are for every Xenia Scouts game this summer. Thanks for listening from all around the country. That one's going to foul back. Lincoln Reed stays alive. We appreciate all the parents and friends or anyone who stumbled across our broadcast to support the Xenia Scouts. You can also follow our live tweeting on Twitter. Jeff Connor is going to be giving you tweets throughout every game. Now a swung on and miss. Lincoln Reed goes down for his 2nd strikeout of the game as the K's keep piling up for Hunter Dunn.
He can have those strikeouts. We got 6 runs on the board so far.
That's a good point, Lance. So that's number 8 strikeout of the game, but 6 runs given up by Hunter Dunn. 4 last inning and 1 here to David Gaunt as Christian Binger is up. First pitch goes high for a ball. Binger with 6 walks in the year. Hasn't got one in a few games, though. 1-0 to Binger. And there for a strike. Count is now 1-1, evened up to Binger, who's 2 for 2 in this game. Had a double back in the 2nd and a single last inning in the 4th. And he swings and misses that one. Now down 1-2. Went on to score that run on a 2 RBI double by Miles Wright. Here comes the pitch, and that one's going to be a ball. Looks like the entire infield of the team started running inside, especially the catcher. Looks like he got it out of the complete circle practically, and it's going to be called back. And now we're even at 2-2 to Binger, who checked at that one. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. So now they all get to go back. So after giving up the big dinger to David Gaunt, 3 straight strikeouts for Hunter Dunn, who's now up to 9 for the game. He's fanning Scouts left and right, but has also given up 6 runs, and the Scouts lead 6-2 going into the bottom of the 5th inning. And Lance, something we talked about before the game, seems like all of Davis' home runs has gone to relatively the same spot.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. They've all been towards the left side, and it appears 3 of them have been basically the same spot as the one he just hit. The one he hit yesterday seemed to be more towards the foul pole area, so a little more hanging to the left. But I think yesterday was the farthest of his 4 home runs of the season.
So we just got through the 5th inning of action for the Scouts. We're going to the bottom of the 5th now. And through 5 innings pitched, Hunter Dunn, the pitcher for the Steam, has 9 strikeouts and has given up 6 earned runs. And Lance, who we have coming up for the side for the Steam?
For the Steam, it'll be 7, 8, 9. It will be led off by Austin Riemann, the catcher from Missouri Baptist. After him, it'll be Danny Carrier, the second baseman from East Tennessee State. After him, the guy from right down the road in Wright State, Adrian Marquez, their left fielder.
And we're at the bottom of the lineup, and last time all 3 of these batters were up, they all were walked by Dylan Donnelly to load the bases. Joey Levitt on the mound now. He went 1-2-3 in his first inning of pitching, got a couple strikeouts, and now takes on Austin. First pitch a little high to Riemann. Counts now 1-0. Austin, we saw his arm earlier in this game back in the top of the first inning when he threw out Lee Solomon. Pitching there for a strike. Count is now 1-1. Solomon, probably the fastest player on this team, so that's quite the feat. He stole both second and third yesterday against the Copperheads. 1-1 pitch. Outside of Riemann. Count is now 2-1. Also not afraid to look at a few pitches. As the sun continues to set. And that's another high one. Count is now 3-1. Exactly what it was to Riemann last time before he was walked by Donnelly. Joey Levitt trying to avoid his first walk of the game. Swung on, and that's going to be lined over to second. Christian Binger can't get to it. Made a nice play. Fanned his glove towards it. Towards the Lincoln Reed over there first. Gilchrist thought he might be able to catch Riemann off guard. And Riemann, who came into this game batting .083, has a walk and a single. So he'll be back in the hundreds at least. And he sits over there at first base. So first hit of the game given up by Joey Levitt. It's going to bring up Danny Carrier, second baseman from East Tennessee State. He walked last time. First pitch right down Main Street for the strike. Double play ball could be in effect. Remember back in the second inning, Scouts had that 5-4-3. Here's the pitch from the righty. Just misses outside. Evens it up at 1-1. Joey with that back right foot on the left side of the rubber, looking towards the catcher, David Gaunt. 1-1 count. A pickoff attempt towards first. Lincoln Reed applies the tag. And back safely is Austin Riemann, catcher from Missouri Baptist. 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. And now it's going to be hit deep to left center. Both players are chasing it. And that's going to hit off the fence. Levi Gilchrist is going to throw it in to the cutoff man, Lee Solomon. And it goes over his head. And that double is going to send home Riemann to an RBI double off the chain link fence in left center from Danny Carrier. Is going to cut into this lead. And now the Scouts' lead is now 6-3.
I think that might be one of the only times Levi Gilchrist's great arm is going to hurt him. He probably was trying to decide between throwing it home from there and throwing it to Solomon as the cutoff man. So I think that little bit of indecision made him throw that one just a little bit off on his cutoff throw to Solomon, allowing the run to score easily.
So here comes Joey Levitt's pitch, and that's going to be fouled backwards.
That'll also be the first run that Joey has given up this season.
You're absolutely right, Lance. He's given up a single and double to the last two batters. The bottom of the lineup of the Cincinnati Steam team has given the Scouts a lot of trouble. So Levitt looks over there a second at Danny Carrier. He throws and gets Marquez swinging. Adrian Marquez, the left fielder from Wright State, still looking for his first hit of the year. He walked last time and was put out a second on the fielder's choice. No outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. 6-3 Scouts. And here comes the pitch from 11. That's going to be fouled to the left side. Count is now 0-2 to Marquez. Levin in the fourth inning went 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts. Has struggled a bit more here. First time we've seen him in trouble yet this season. This being his fourth appearance. Here comes the pitch from 11, and that one drops, but not enough. And it stays a little bit high in the zone. So we 1-2 count now after that ball on the breaking ball that just didn't come down enough. 1-2 count. Raises that left knee and he fires, and that was well inside, just missing hitting Adrian Marquez. That would have put runners on first and second, but he doesn't hit him. Marquez will step back into the batter's box. He turned away from it. Count is now 2-2. Even count here, and here comes the pitch. Foul backwards. Guy's a little bit behind on that one. Joey Levitt also dealing with the sun today. It's not as blaring as it was earlier, as Levi Gilcrease and Jonathan Bravo no longer have their gloves in front of their eyes. And just as I say that, Gilcrease puts his in front of him. 2-2 count here, no outs, bottom fifth, 6-3 Scouts. Runner on second. That one's going to be fouled again, so a good at bat here from Adrian Marquez, the left fielder from Wright State. The Raider is making Joey Levitt work for his first out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. And here comes a steal attempt, and that was going to be fouled backwards on the hit and run. As Danny Carrier did have a good jump on it. We already saw one throwout from David Gaunt at third base. Not exactly a player you want to test, as Trey Habercorn was thrown out back in the third inning after an RBI fielder's choice. And here comes the 2-2 from 11. He wheels and deals, and that one's going to be caught in the lights in the netting around the first base foul line. So yet again, we'll do it at 2-2 for Adrian Marquez. Remember, we have a community event on July 2nd at the AIA Sports Complex at 5:30. Come out and meet your Scouts if you're in the Xenia, Ohio area. If you're from anywhere and you want to make the trip, here comes the 2-2. Again, foul to the left side. If Adrian Marquez is anything, it's consistent. Count is now 2-2 from Joey Levitt, who is still trying to get his first out here in what's seeming like never-ending bottom of the fifth inning. Rolling on our third batter. Austin Riemann singled and then was doubled in by Danny Carrier. 6-3 score, Scouts. As Joey Levitt steps off the rubber. And Danny Carrier will stay there at second. Adrian Marquez still looking for his first hit of the year. Here comes that 2-2 again. That one's going to be hit. This time to the left side foul. Looks like it might sneak in past Lincoln Reed at first base, but it curved just outside that first base line.
And this next pitch will be the 10th of the at-bat.
Unbelievable. Joey Levitt working on his 17th pitch here. He came in the fourth inning. And here comes the pitch from Marquez, and that's going to be fouled back again. Adrian Marquez working in the double digits now. 11 pitches. Fast hitter. He's throwing a lot of strikes. He's not chasing him away. Marquez is getting contact on it, just can't straighten it out. Here we are waiting for the result of this at-bat. On second, no outs. 6-3 Scouts, bottom five. Joey Levitt Number 8 on the mound. And he's going to stop again. He's definitely got Danny Carrier on his mind. Danny does have some wheels over there on second base. Don't see on David Gaunt, though, the right-handed catcher. And here comes 2, and he is going to try to steal those foul. Run for the second time, and it's going to be fouled into the webbing to the left side.
This next 15th of the at-bat. I don't think I've ever seen an at-bat go quite this long.
This is one of the longest at-bats I've ever seen at any level. Lance, it's been absolutely incredible how it fouled away. And Levis still has a pitch to throw away a ball. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be fouled away. Carey yet again was moving from second to third. Wonder if he's getting winded over there at second base as he's sprinted from second to third and just can't get over there. Those 90 feet start to add up. So that'd be 270 feet of wasted energy for Danny Carrier over there at second. So Joey Levin in the longest at bat between a pitcher and a batter of the season, and that one's going to be high for a ball. It's going to continue because, believe it or not, through 13 pitches, we had a 2-2 count. So now it's full. So we're going to number 16 of the at bat. Adrian Marquez, the lefty, still on the plate, and they're going to throw it towards second, and did not get him. Lee Solomon looks like he might have applied the tag to Danny Carrier at second base in time, but just getting his fingertips on the bag is Danny Carrier. That one was close. A pickoff attempt at second base, almost successful. Here comes the payoff. That one's going to hit towards short. Lee Solomon picks it up. He throws the first. And he's out just in time. Lee Solomon's long throw on the slow roller to him gets Adrian Marquez out, and after 16, it's officially 16 pitches to Adrian Marquez, he goes down. And whew, Lance, that was a marathon of an at-bat.
That's easily the longest at-bat I've ever seen, like you said, at any level. That was a spectacular at-bat, and still found a way to get him out.
That does move Carrier to third base, and here comes Trey Habercorn. He got on with a fielder's choice last time. Has an RBI from that fielder's choice. Danny Carrier over there at third base. He got on with a doubled in Austin Riemann. 6-3 score Scouts. Went out here in the bottom of the fifth. That one's low in the dirt. Counts quickly 2-0 here to Habercorn, and we're in the top of the Steam lineup for the third time this game. Habercorn's 0 for 2, came the game batting .261, the center fielder from Cincinnati. Here comes the 2-0 pitch, swung on and miss. A big long swing from Habercorn, misses everything. Count is now 2-1. Joey Levin has kept his composure after going through that 16 pitch at bat. And finally getting the put out from Marquez. That one's going to be hit to deep right center, and that one's going to be back into the wall. That's going to easily score Carrier. And Habercorn's going 3. They throw it in to Solomon. He's going to throw a third to Carnahan, and sliding in safely is Trey Habercorn with the triple. So now it's a 6-4 game as Joey Levitt has given up his first 2 runs of the season in relief. The 4th time he's been put in the game, and this is the first time that Joey Levitt has given up any runs as Danny Collins easily waltzes in from third base, and now over there at third is Trey Habercorn.
I also think this might be the first time out that Joey has given him more than 1 or 2 hits.
Came in the game, I believe, only had 2 hits on the season. Now has 3. So Joey Levin from Cypress College has given up 2 runs here through an inning and a third. Dylan Donnelly was the starter today. He pitched 3 full innings, gave up 3 walks, only allowed 1 hit, but gave up 2 runs. So the Cincinnati Steam have really worked the first 2 Xenia Scouts pitchers we've seen on the mound. I think we might see some action in the bullpen over there. Can't exactly see who it is yet again. Our views of the bullpens have been obstructed by the extending first and third base dugouts for the respective teams, but nevertheless, I think there's going to be some action for the Baby Blues. To the left of us, I don't know who's going to be put in the game. Maybe Thomas Wanning is Xavier University, and right down the road from here. He did pitch last night, though, but only 1 inning. Joey Levitt's going to step back on that rubber. Trey on third base as Max Foley's comes up. He singled last time and had an RBI. Curve one just misses inside. Counts now 1-0. That last single. That run was Danny Carrier, and that one's going to be headed to right field and foul. That one, if it was straight out, might have hit the stern right. 1-1 count now to Max Foley, who's 1 for 2 in the game. Came in the game batting .364. First baseman from Evansville. The Evansville Aces in Evansville, Illinois. And comes the 1-1. Bit high. High and away to Max Foley. That's going to make it 2-1 here. Drake Habercorn over there on third base. Eager to score. 6-4 Scouts here in bottom of the 5th inning. A 2-1 count from Joey Levitt. He wheels in deep. Levitt has not walked a batter yet in this contest, in danger of doing so here. Might have been tired from that 16th pitch at bat to Adrian Marquez in the bottom of the order. The only out of this inning. That one's outside and the game from Joey Levitt. That's going to put runners on first. And that's going to be the 5th holder from the Scouts as Dylan Donnelly watched for himself. Joey 2 walks and has 6 strikeouts. Has given up 3 hits here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's going to bring up Andre Jernigan, who's 0 for 2, flat out to right. His first 2 at-bats. It's been given Miles Wright his work. Fly outs to right we've seen today. So runners on first and third. 1 out. Bubba Cates coming out to speak to Joey Levitt. And it is Thomas Wanning. I see Thomas Wanning over there. Looks like he's going to be warming up. So we're going to have a meeting with apparently the entire infield of runners on first and third here of the 2nd inning. When a 5-4-3 double play from Carnahan to Binger to Reed was put in play, and now we're in the bottom of the 6-4 game as a couple of runs have scored here.
Coming in.
And we do have a new pitch coming into the game. Joe, we thought we see last night the Scouts got the lead. Now Lance, tell me about Joe Chasen.
Well, Joe Jason, of course, was born in Hawaii, so he's one of the more exotic guys on this team in that regard. He grew up in Georgia, goes to Hillsdale College, is a college teammate of another Xenia Scouts player, Will Cruz. And the last time we saw Joe come out was against the Copperheads in the first game we saw them. He just came in for the last inning and gave up the only run of the ball game in his 9th inning, the only inning he pitched. Faced 6 batters and eventually came out of there with the Scouts win.
So Joe has had 3 appearances this season, 3 innings pitched, so he's predominantly a closer, coming in much earlier than we're used to seeing him. He's allowed 5 hits on the year, 4 runs, has a 3.00 ERA. He's only given up 1 earned run, even though he's allowed 4. A bunch of errors have also contributed. He's had 4 strikeouts, also has a save on the year. So Joe Chasen comes here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Joey Levitt pitches 1 1/3, his shortest appearance of the season. Had a couple of strikeouts, but gave up a couple of runs and 3 hits and a walk. So the first unsuccessful appearance of the year for Joey Levitt.
Xenia Scouts is from Hillsdale College.
And when Joey Levitt comes in the game, every time we've seen Joe chasing, as this, and every single time he's followed Joey. So that Joseph squared connection here from Joey to Joe. Let's see if Joe can get out of this danger. Andre Jernigan at the plate. The shortstop from Xavier, who's 0 for 2. Runners on the corner. Tripled. Here comes the first pitch. That one's outside from Joe. His first pitch of the game is a ball. And after that walk just delivered to Max Foley, who's now 1 for 2 with a walk on the game. Andre Jernigan trying to bring back the steam. We'll keep rising from that deficit. 6-4 is your score. Scouts up after a big top of the 4th inning. That one's going to be hit and fouled. The count is now 1-1 to Jernigan, who didn't even get a face. Joey Levitt. He only faced Dylan Donnelly. 1-1 count here. Andre Jernigan. And another pickoff attempt, the second one we've seen over towards Foley at first base. Lincoln Reed there applies the tag, but not in time. Runners on the corners. Still. Inning, double play. Bottom 5, 6-4 Scouts. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to be hit towards Solomon at short. Here comes the 6, and he throws to 4, and goes to first, but not in time. So that's going to score a run on the fielder's choice. So the fielder's choice is going to score a run. And that cuts the lead to 1. It is 6-5 now. Scouts lead in the bottom of the 5th inning, but the bats have come alive for the Steam. So Joe gives up a run. And that one's going to be accredited to Joey Levitt. That's going to bring up Trey Gans. First base, and Gans is a little bit behind on that one. Count is now 0-1. So 0-1 count now to Trey Gans, who's 1 for 2 with a walk. Ground out to second last time, and Christian Binger drinking over there at first base. Here comes Chase the pitch well outside. Good. Falling to his left to catch that one before it hit the back of the backstop. My pen loses his ink, and Lance with a nice assist here.
Always coming in for the clutch, man.
So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning, a 1-1 count. Back to first base, 1-1 count. Here to Gans, and the runner's going. And no, he is not. Fakes me out here. Back in the press box. A little bit of a juke move on first base. Has a lot of agility. He stops in his tracks. So 1-2 now to Trey Gans. Joe Chasen trying to get out of this bottom of the 5th inning. That one's outside. Count is now 2-2. Scouts were up 6-2 coming into the bottom of the 5th and have given up 3 runs. All of those will be accredited to Joey Levitt. Joe Chasen on the mound. 6'3" pitcher that was curving inside, and Cal Carnahan in foul territory is going to put this one away, and Scouts get out of the bottom of the 5th, but not before 3 runs are given up. So we're going to the 6th inning, and it is a close one, folks. Put a pizza in the oven and get comfortable, because it's a 6-5 game between the Scouts and the Steam. Scouts coming to the top of the 6th inning with that 1-run lead.
You guys ready? Set? Yeah.
So a 6-5 game. Going to the top of the 6th inning. Every inning pitched so far from the Steam has been by Hunter Dunn, but we will have a down. So Hunter Dunn goes 5 innings strong. He actually gets 9 strikeouts, gives up 6 runs. All going to be accredited to him. That's coming into pitch for the Steam will be Ted Andrews, 6'7" giant from Furman, a local product from Mason, Ohio. You remember Mason is where the Scouts play their exhibition opener at Prasco Park against the Cincinnati Spikes, Cincinnati Steam. He's also a local high school player from Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy. Who plays at Furman. So Lance, who the Scouts have coming up to test Ted Andrews?
Scouts will go 8-9-1. And we'll lead off with Levi Gilcrease, who had a nice little base hit towards right field for his first hit of the game. He later came around to score. Then will be Miles Wright, who was 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and a couple RBIs to his credit. We'll be back to top lineup. And Lee Solomon, who also had a base hit that scored 2 runs in his last at-bat in that big 4th inning.
Once again, thank you to everyone watching the live web stream here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And you're sitting at home where you are very appreciated. And also you can follow the Scouts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and XeniaScouts.com. Scouts will also have a community night June 23rd as the Reds minor league day will come to the park. There will be about 80 campers coming. They'll be running the bases in the bottom half of the 7th inning. It'll just be a fun night at Grady's Field. So, nice second on your calendars and come down to Grady's Field at the AIA Sports Complex in Xenia, Ohio, as we're going to be having a lot of fun in those 2 games. So top of the 6th, Levi Gilcrease up. He singled last time, came around to score. He shows bunt, and that one's going to be bunted way behind us. Interesting to know about Levi, his older brother Zach, who just completed his college career at South Florida, is going to be a member of the coaching staff now. We saw him throwing some BP earlier. A former player for the Scouts is the older Gil. Even up at 1-1. One count here to Gilcrease for the 3rd time. Shows bunt. Yet again, that one's going to go low after the pullback from Gilcrease. Okay, Gilcrease, a Baylor Bear, and has Baylor speed. Very rangy in center field, and here comes the 2-1 pitch, and that one's going to be dribbled over towards third base. Bolin picks it up, throws to first, and put away is Levi Gilcrease for the first out here in the top of the 6th inning. 6-5 ball game. The Xenia Scouts scored 4 runs in the top of the 4th, had a 6-2 lead, but after giving up 3 in the bottom of the 5th, the Steam have risen back into it and has made it a 1-run game. Now coming up to the plate is Miles Wright, who's hot. There's nothing wrong about his bat. And he shows bunt. Now it's going to be missed, and it's going to, as that one went way high, that would have been a bad result for Miles, and it's an 0-1 count.
You can have the bat out there over the plate, but if you can rule that it would be a ball anyway, you can call that a ball. As
I changed it to a ball. Good catch, Lance. Count is now 1-1.
That's what I'm here for, Terry.
Originally, well, a strike on the scoreboard, I believe, but now 1-1 count to Miles Wright. It was 2 for 2. 2 doubles. Right. Here in Cincinnati, Ohio, at Western Hills High School campus. Here comes the pitch, and that one's in the. They get hit off the kneecap of Austin Reams. So 2-1 count here. Ted Andrews on the mound. 6'7" righty from Furman, a local product from Mason, Ohio. Here comes the 2-1, and that one's a bit high. Miles watches that one go by, and it's now 3-1. One out here in the top of the 6th inning, no one on base. And here comes that 3-1, high and inside. And Miles Wright will get on for the 3rd time today. This time with some keen eye work as he gallops down to first base on the walk. So his on-base percentage has.
Play cornhole before every game because we played before the game today, and he's 2 for 2 with the walk.
Might have warmed up his arm a little bit. Those 2 doubles as he hit him hotly past third base, and that's going to bring up Lee Solomon, and Miles is on the move. Check swing, and he sailed, showing off the speed. Great attempt by Austin Riemann, but an attempt is all it was, as is the first stolen base of the game, and Miles Wright with one out here in the top of 6 gets in scoring position for Lee Solomon. Solomon missed that pitch. Shallow left field, and that'll be put away. And Marquez puts out a win. Adrian with the can of corn. That's going to put Solomon away for the 2nd time today. Now he's 2 for 4. And now coming out to the plate is Austin Orr, who's 0 for 2 in this contest. He struck out looking last time. He also has a walk in this game. Started that one off in the top of the 1st. Miles Wright over there on 2nd base in scoring position. Scouts would love to add on to this 1-run lead. Is 6-5, 2 outs. Top of the 6th. That one's well outside. So 1 ball to Austin Orr. Ted Andrews on the mound. Hasn't given up a hit yet. Does have a walk in his 1st inning of pitching. Here comes the pitch, and that one's fouled backwards. And that's going to even it up to Austin. He's up for the 4th time this game. Scouts in their 4th time around the lineup. So a 1-1 here, and that one's going to be in the dirt. And it's now 2-1. So 2-1 here, top of the 6th inning. Scouts up 6-5. Ted Andrews on the mound. Austin Orr at the plate. Shortstop now DHing from Jackson, Tennessee, and Union University watches that one go by for a strike. Austin did strike out looking. That was to Hunter Dunn, who started this game for the Steam. He went 5 innings, struck out 9. It's like he came into the game with 7. 14 was the high mark going into today. Ben Aldridge of the Scouts was tied for 1st in the league, and now 16 for Hunter Dunn, who was replaced by Ted Andrews, the 6'7" righty from Furman, who's on the mound now. Both righties, the Steam, have thrown out there on the rubber, and here comes his pitch, and that was inside, and it hits Austin. Austin Orr will take first base as he gets hit. Hopefully not in the hurt shoulder, as Austin Orr has been dealing with a shoulder injury. That's why he hasn't started the last 3 games. This is the 1st game he started. We haven't seen him in the field since the 1st game in Licking County. But now runners on 1st and 2nd. Right on 2nd. He walked and stole, and Austin Orr hit by a pitch. That's going to bring Kyle Carnahan, who has an RBI single already in this game, and he singled in. You standing at 2nd. That first pitch is high from Andrews. That hit batter was the first one we've seen of the game. 1-0 count now to Kyle Carnahan, the 3rd baseman, the Ichabod from Washburn. 1-0 pitch. Inside. So 2-0. That's Ted Andrews. Came to this game. He looked like he was in control at first. Got outs of Levi Gilcrease and Lee Solomon. And now has struggled. Now has runners on first and second. And 2 balls here to Kyle Carnahan and no strikes. Runners on first, second. 2 outs. That one's on the outside corner. I thought it was going to be outside. Great frame job right there by Austin Riemann. If it was outside, he made it look like he got that corner. Does a pitch from Carnahan, and that one's outside. Clearly, count is now 3-1 to Kyle. Kyle came into this game batting 185, 1 for 3 in this contest, got that RBI. The runners on first and second. Here comes the pitch to Carnahan. He's seen it into foul territory. That one goes way out of play. That one rocketed off his bat. We saw a couple huge swings of the bat yesterday down in Athens, Ohio from Carnahan. Both of them looked like they could be home runs off the bat, but he got a little too far under both of them just for flyouts. And it's going to be a 3-2 full count here to Kyle Carnahan in his 4th at-bat of the game. Ted Andrews on the mound, the righty from Furman. He's throwing, runners going, foul back towards us. Of course, on a 3-2 count with 2 outs, the runners will be moving. Carnahan puts it in play. You can expect him to score miles right, and plus can score him as well if he would find the gaps. 16 pitches for Andrews. And here comes the pitch, and that was low in the dirt. And he's going to walk him. So 2 walks and a hit by pitch this inning. Andrews hasn't given up and hit, and it's kind of similar to what we saw with Dylan Donnelly, who gave up 4 walks for the Scouts, only gave up 1 hit in the game.
They bring up exactly who they probably don't want to bring up with the bases loaded. David Gaunt hit a home run in his last at-bat.
You're right, David Gaunt, the slugger supreme from Topeka, Kansas. Yesterday I called him Superman.
So that's not too far down the road for Smallville, right?
Not too far down the road from Smallville. He seems like he has super strength over there at the plate. The righty now has 4 homers on the year and 13 RBIs. So bases loaded with 2 outs for David Gaunt. 1 for 3. You mentioned Lance that homer, and he's going to be heading towards third base, and a rather anticlimactic end to the top of the 6th inning as the Scouts got David Gaunt up to the plate, but on his first pitch swinging, grounds out to Adam Bolin over there at third base, and he's going to get the put out. Just steps on the bag at third, and that ends the top of the 6th after the Scouts definitely threatened, but the score remains the same. 6-5 Scouts as Joe Chasen comes back to the mound.
Skyline Chili, Montgomery Inn, Champions Grill, Nestle Purina, and the Cincinnati Reds Community Fund. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors.
And we just watched Zach Wiley walk around the grandstands here at Max McLeary Field, not in uniform, and apparently hurt his hand at one point during the game yesterday. We saw ice on it as we arrived back home, so not in uniform today. So it appears Wyatt Hogan will be our only substitute if and when he checks into the game.
And Wyatt Hogan has been put to work between innings. He's played catcher to warm up all of the pitchers. And Joe Chasen's coming back to the mound. Chasen got in 2/3 inning of work. You got a fielder's choice that scored a run. You got Jernigan to hit into that one, and then a flyout to Kyle Carnahan and Lance for the Steam.
Coming up for the Steam, it will start off with third baseman Adam Bolin. Then it'll be Alex Corna, the right fielder from Georgetown College. That'll be Austin Riemann, their catcher.
So up comes Bolin. He's 0 for 2. He struck out back in the bottom of the fourth. 6-5 Scouts, bottom 6. It's a beautiful night here at McLeary Field. First pitch from Chasen to start this bottom of the 6th inning. Binger picks it up, throws it to Reed, gets him out. So Bolin goes down yet again. He's 0 for 3 in the contest. And that's going to bring Alex Corna.
And with the Scouts already having in their third pitcher of the game here in the bottom of the 6th, they're going to need as many of those one pitch, one out kind of scenarios as they can to try and preserve these arms.
10 members of the pitching staff here for the Scouts, only 9 in attendance today. John Crawford usually comes during starts. At Grady's Field the other night against the Settlers, got his first victory of the season. Excuse me, against the Copperheads, not the Settlers. And here comes the pitch. That one's going to be hit high in the air. Looks like Gaunt's going to try to run that one down, but it's going to go out of play for a foul ball. But quickly, Joe Chasen gets up in the count. 0-2 here to Corna. Corna batting .400 on the year from Georgetown College. 0 for 2 tonight. The Scouts have had his number. Rises and fires outside from Joe Chasen. Nothing. David Gaunt, who moved a little bit to his left, shifted slightly. Wanted to see if he could get Corna chasing on the throwaway pitch. 1-2 pitch now. Slow rise and fire, and just misses again to the outside. That breaking ball cannot find the zone. Even up Joe Chasen now through an official inning of work. That one's inside, and it's going to be foul backwards. Have to go back to that last inning. And an incredible 16-pitch at-bat from Adrian Marquez, the left fielder from Wright State. He grounded out to Lee Solomon at short, but both Lance and myself said it was the longest at-bats we've ever seen in all of our years of watching baseball. That's going to bring up Alex Corna, and Corna again, 2-2, and he's going to hit that one towards left field, and just curves foul. Very dangerous for Jonathan Bravo over there. And medium left field, I thought that one might hit around the line. But luckily, it stays 2-2. Two-two count. Joe Chasen on the mound. 6-5 Scouts here with a 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here comes the 2-2, and he gets them swinging. Corna thought he was that one, but nothing doing.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. He tried to act like he held that one up, and from our nice little view here in the press box behind home plate, you can tell that he went around. So nice strikeout there for Chasen to get his second out of the inning.
First strikeout of came in with 4 for the season, now has 5. That's going to bring Austin Riemann. First pitch to him is in there for a strike. Riemann walked and scored. Austin Riemann came in the game batting .083 from Missouri Baptist, has given the Scouts all sorts of fits. 0-1 pitch to him, right down Detroit Street. Count is now 0-2 to Riemann. Joe Chase and trying to get out of this 6th inning. And here comes Chasen's pitch. That one's going to be fouled. Riemann's a little behind on that one. Austin was 1 for 12 on the season coming to today. Now 2 for 13. Chasen trying to get out of this inning. Winds and fires, and that one curves outside for the first ball of the at-bat. Count is now 1-2 to Austin Riemann. On deck for the Steam will be Danny Carrier. He doubled in Riemann last time. 1-2 pitch. Outside. 2-2 now.
Didn't miss that one by much. Tried to see if he could get him to chase at that one, but no dice. Puts it to 2-2.
All right, Lance just off that outside corner. Joe Chasen desperately trying to paint it. And he gets him swinging. Handcuffs him on the inside fastball. And for the second straight time, Joe Chasen strikes out the batter, this time swinging. And after an inning and 2/3, Joe Chasen has not given up any hits. And we're going to the top of the 7th inning. And 6-5 Scouts. Been back and forth all game long. Lance, who the Scouts have coming up here on the top of the 7th?
The Scouts will lead this inning off just like they led off that miraculous 4th inning. It'll lead off with Jonathan Bravo, the left fielder. He struck out his last time up. That'll be Lincoln Reed coming up to the plate. He also struck out his last time up. And a little bit of a trend here. Christian Minger will then come to play. He also struck out his last time up. And now look at a couple score updates while Ted Andrews is throwing his few warm-up pitches. In the top of the 8th, Lorraine County to 4, but the Monarchs are charging in the 8th inning. They've already scored 1 run in that top of the 8th inning. Then down at Foundation Field, and Joe's on top of the Lima Locos 8-3, and of course the Grand Lake Mariners beat the Galleon Graders 7-2 earlier on today.
So Ted Andrews takes his giant steps towards the mound again, the 6'7" righty from University. In his first inning of work, back in the top of the 6th inning, got Levi Gilcrease to ground out to 3rd, and then he walked Miles Wright, who stole 2nd. He got Lee Solomon to fly out to left, and then hit Austin and watch Kyle Carnahan. And then he got a fielder's choice from David Gahn at 3rd base to end the inning. So Carter's in a hit by a pitch, but still has not given up a hit as we go to the top of the Jonathan Bravo going up to the dish. Bravo 1 for 3 in this one. Couple of strikeouts. He struck out last time, as did the rest of this side. Here comes the pitch to Bravo. High, and they're calling it a strike. I can't believe that one, Lance. I try to stay as subjective as possible. That looked very high to me. Count is now 0-1 to Bravo. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and that one's also in there for a strike.
Terry, are you a little frustrated with those calls?
I thought that one was outside. I know the first one was high, but it doesn't matter what I think, Lance. It matters what the umpire thinks, and now it's 0-2 to Bravo. Here comes the pitch, and checks his swing that time, and it's going to be 1-2 as that one was well in the dirt. Surprised it wasn't called a strike. Jonathan Brown from Texas Wesleyan University came in this game batting .300. One of 3 Scouts batting .300 or above in the starting 9. 1-2 pitch from Bravo. Now it's going chopped. Gets out Bravo at first. Unbelievable play. Now Andre Jernigan, because that one was a high chopper, but the second bounce off the ground didn't come high at all. He had to go all the way down to his ankles before he threw it to first base to get Bravo out.
Yeah, I thought that one might initially chop into the outfield for a base hit, but great range there from Jernigan to go over and get that one, and just barely got Bravo over at first route number 1.
That's going to bring up Lincoln Reed, who's 0 for 3. And he's going to hit that one towards the Scouts dugout and bullpen for a foul ball. It's 0-1. He struck out, swinging back in that top of the 5th. He got on base with a fielder's choice on a bunt that threw out Jonathan Bravo back in that 4th inning where the Scouts exploded for 4 runs. And then Lincoln looked at a strike 3 called back in the 2nd inning. So he's going to try to get on with a hit for this game. Here comes the 0-1, and he looks at that one for a strike. Count is now 0-2. So Ted Andrews making quick work of the Scouts so far. He gets the 6-3 from Bravo. Now up 0-2 on Lincoln Reed. from Taylor University in Indiana. He swings and misses at that one. Draw 3 strike is easily thrown over by Riemann to first. Third strikeout of the game from Lincoln Reed. Is struggling a little bit at the plate. That's going to bring up Christian Binger. Binger, who's 2 for 3 today, he's had a great day at the home dish. He got a double back in the second inning, a single, and came around to score. And that 4-run fourth. But back in the fifth, he struck out. And that strikeout of the game from Ted Andrews as the first pitch goes away for a ball. 1-0 here to Christian Binger from Southwest Baptist University in Texas. 1-0. Inside of Binger. Count is now 2-0 to Christian. Christian batted over 370 this year in college at Southwest Baptist and was all conference. Winds and throws, and that one's outside. So quickly now, 3-0 to Binger. The man who has the... He hasn't had any in the last few games, so he knows he's due. Will most likely get the red light here. It is red district, and it goes for a strike. Count is now 3-1 to the lefty, Christian baseman. Wears number 4 on the back of his baby blue jersey. 3-1 pitch from the 6'7" Andrews, and that's outside. And that's the fourth ball to number 4. He's going to stroll over those 90 feet to first base.
Like you mentioned, he came into the game leading the team in walks and always a very patient hitter at the plate, so you knew he was due for a walk sometime soon, and he got what he wanted there.
Third walk of the day for Texas. He also has a hit batter as he hit Austin Orr last inning in the top of the 6th. It's 6-5 Scouts here. We're in the top of the 7th inning with 2 down. With Christian Binger on first base. And Levi Gilcrease scored a run. Scouts coming into this game at 6-2. Steam 2-3-1. Last night they had a tie ball game against the Lake Erie Monarchs. After they went into extras, they're actually down 5-4 in the bottom of the 11th inning. Just got their first out recorded when lightning struck, and the game had to be called. And due to NCAA regulations, all games last full inning, which would have been the 10th, which was a 4-4 ball game, as the Monarchs scored the go-ahead run in the 11th. And that's going to rule the game a tie. So something you don't see every day. Baseball tie here in the Great Lakes League. And that puts the Steam at their season record of 2-3-1. And that's got to leave a sour taste. Runner on first, Christian Binger. By Gilcrease, the center fielder from Baylor at the plate. Swinging. That cut goes foul to the right side. Sky is high above the Steam dugout. Scouts have just faced the righties today. The right-hander Hunter Dunn, who struck out 9. Now Ted Andrews, who struck out 1. So 10 times the Scouts have gone down swinging as we're about through 7 here. And with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. More than half of the Scouts out have been strikeouts, as we've been through 19 outs here after I did some quick math, which I hope. So it'll be 10 of those are strikeouts. And here comes the pitch to Gilcrease, and Binger's on the move, and he's going to be in there safely. Christian Binger with his first steal of the year. So now a runner scoring position as that's his second stolen base of the year. And is now on second with 2 outs here. Relieved by Gilcrease, who has a 1-1 count to him with 2 outs. Here's that 1-1 pitch, and that one's outside. Scouts would love another walk to be the 4th of the game from Ted Andrews. Will put runners on first and second with a hot hitting Miles Wright coming up in the number 9 spot. Miles on deck right now. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI and 2 doubles. Now it's high for a ball. Count is now 3-1. Ted Andrews is in serious danger of walking another batter. Miles Wright actually has 2 RBIs. He had a 2 RBI double back in that 4th inning. He RBI'd in Lincoln Reed and Christian Binger, who now stands on second. Here comes the pitch to Gilchrist. He's swinging and fouling that one backwards. That's going to make it full. 3-2. Second time Ted Andrews has had a full count. Last time was against Kyle Carnahan back in the top of the 6th inning, and he walked Kyle. That loaded the bases before he got a force out at third base and the fielder's choice to give out David Gaunt. To incoming, and that was in the dirt, and that's going to be another walk to load the bases. And load the bases, excuse me, put runners on first and second. First base is open. So runners on first and second. Gilchrist is walked. So he's been on twice today.
The pitchers as they will go out for the second meeting of the inning.
So Ted Andrews just walked his 4th of the day. Back-to-back walks. 4 Bs from Ted Andrews, and he's going to be set through 1 2/3 innings in relief. After it was 5 strong from Hunter Dunn. And we'll try to see who's on the mound now for the Steam. It'll be Ruberg. Ken Ruberg is another righty, 6'3", so he's lost 4 inches from Andrews from Thomas More College. Also another hometown kid here from Cincinnati, Ohio, Cincinnati Steam. Our very local club. You see a lot of Cincinnati's from Waynesville, which is by Dayton. You see Mason, Ohio, right outside Cincinnati. You see Fairfield, Ohio, in the borderline Cincinnati and Dayton. Loveland, also a suburb of Cincinnati. So a team that likes to stay local. Also saw some Westchester, which has Lakota East High School. Excuse me, Lakota West High School. Runners on first, second for the Xenia Scouts. Are up by a score of 6-5 here in the top of the 7th inning. Let's recap this top of the 7th. We started off with a 5-3 groundout to Jonathan Bravo. Then Lincoln Reed struck out swinging. And then Ted Andrews walked back-to-back batters before being replaced right now. Coming for the Scouts to face Ruberg will be Miles Wright. Miles is 2 for 2 with a walk. So 2 runs, 2 RBIs. He stole a base as well, got to third before David Gaunt was hit into that end of the top of the 6th inning. So a great game for Miles Wright. Definitely a prime candidate for player of the game. And if so, it'll be the second time we've had a roommate up here for a player of the game. We'll see how the rest of the holds.
That's something I've been telling him. I said, Miles, one of these days you just got to go out there, have a bunch of hits, and we can have you come up for player of the game. We had Will, like you mentioned, earlier on in the week when he started against the Settlers. So it'd be nice if we can get our other roommate up here for
And Ruberg, the 6'3" righty from Thomas More College. He weighs in at 200 pounds. He's going to his junior season. And here comes Miles Wright. He's going to his junior season as well at St. Edward's University and all. And he's heading towards third, and it gets past him. It gets over the glove of Borland, and here comes Binger. He's going to score. The throw from left field. And Marquez is a bit offline. And it's going to be A one swing and the third hit of the game for Miles Wright. And
we hassle Miles all the time. I'm always saying, Miles, all you do is go up there and bunt. And today, 3 hits, 3 doubles, a couple RBIs as well. Can't say much more about the day from Miles Wright.
Miles would advance to second on the throw to home plate, and that's going to bring up Lee Solomon, or 2 runners in scoring position. 7-5, top of the 7th inning with 2 outs, runners on second and third, and Wright and Gilcrease. And here comes the throw from Ruberg, and it's a bunt laid down by Solomon, and they're going to throw over to first, and they get him just in time. So in the 5th at-bat of the day for Lee Solomon, he's out on the bunt attempt. So that 1-3 will do it and leave 2 runners on after the Scouts left 3 runners on in the top of the 6th inning, so 5 runners. The last 2 innings combined be stranded by the Scouts, but not before they added in down to the bottom of the 7th, and Miles Wright with the RBI single. That sent home Christian Binger, who came on with a walk, and Levi Gilchrist's walks. He got to third, and Miles Wright hit his 3rd RBI of the day. He's incredible performance from Miles Wright.
Yeah, he's having a tremendous game. 3 for 3 at the plate. Has gotten on base every single time. The at bat where he didn't get a hit, he managed to draw a walk, so he's been all over the base paths today. He's also got a stolen base. Tremendous day for Miles. Can't say enough about him. Couldn't be happier for him, as he's had some struggles this past season. At St. Edward said it was one of the worst, if not the worst, season of his entire career. So for him to come out today and have a game like he's having, couldn't happen to a better guy, Terry.
Interesting stat line for Ted Andrews. He goes 1 2/3 before he was placed by Ken Ruberg. Didn't give up a hit. And a hit batter before he was replaced. Lance, who do we have the side coming out for the Steam here in the bottom of the 7th?
For the Steam, they will be led off by Danny Carrier, and then it will be Adrian Marquez. And the last time he was up to the plate, he had that crazy 6 bat of the lineup, and Treg Habercorn, the center fielder.
Joe Chasen back on the mound. Here's his first pitch, a bunt attempt. Like Kyle Carnahan, throw it to first, and he gets him. Good throw to get out Danny Carrier. So the 5-3 put out on the bunt. Kyle Carnahan came in charging like a bull on that one. Good job by Chasen getting out of his way and allowing him.
Just like you're taught in the outfield, you call off the infielder when they're kind of backpedaling. Same kind of thing applies for the pitcher when they're charging. They don't have the perfect angle. Carnahan charges him from third to get the out.
And the first pitch to Marquez is outside for a ball. Adrian Marquez, the left fielder from Wright State, still hasn't got a hit this year. 0 for 1 today, did walk. Was out a second on the fielder's choice, and then the 16 pitch at bat last time, so watches that one go by for a strike. Thank you for still listening to us here on the web stream. And now that one's a set. 2-1 now to Marquez from Joe Chasen. Joe came in to relieve Joey Levitt back in the bottom of the 5th inning. Levitt only got through a third of that 5th. So 2 innings complete from Joe Chasen. That one goes for a ball. It's a 3-1 count now. Chasen has yet to walk a batter. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, and that one's a little high for a ball, and that's going to send Marquez over to first for his 2nd walk of the day.
Just as you say, throw a walk, Terry.
Yeah, I'm going to take complete blame for that one as well. So that's the 6th walk of the game for the Scouts. 4th throw from Dylan Donnelly, who got the start. Joey Levitt had one. So 7-5 is your score. Adrian Marquez on first base. One out here in the bottom of the 7th. That's Treg Habercorn's triple last time. Now it's just a bit outside of Habercorn. Counts now 1-0 as the Steam are going for their 4th time around. So we're at the top of the lineup, and Joe picks off attempt. Time. Scouts are in their 5th time around. Here comes the pitch to Habercorn. Swung on and missed. He has that big bat. Looks like he's going to point it high to the dark blue sky we have here today in Cincinnati, Ohio, as he swings and whiffs at that one. Count is 1-1. Another fake pickoff attempt, getting Marquez's jersey dirty over there. So one out here as Danny Carrier. And he's going to be moving and chasing. So I'm not sure exactly what happened. I called it a balk. So Joe Chason's the balk gives Marquez over there to second. So now a runner in scoring position, and that's the second balk being called on the Scouts this season. So runner in scoring position, one down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Treg Habercorn at plate. Treg is 1 for 3 today of a triple and an RBI fielder's choice. Treg from Cincinnati University. Very close. And he's dealing for 1-1 count now to Chasen. Here comes the pitch, and that was well inside. The wind might have ruffled the jersey of Habercorn on that one. So 2-1 to Treg of Adrian Marquez, the left fielder over there at second base. Bottom of the 7th inning, Scouts up by a score of 7-5 in Great Lakes League action here. 2-1 pitch, here it is. One is foul backwards. Great delivery there by Chasen to even it back up. Chasen, after giving up that balk, puts Adrian Marquez left base. It's a 7-5 score, 2-2 count, one out here between the Steam and the Scouts. And leg goes up and he throws down, and it does not break into the zone, and that's going to make it full at 3-2. Here to Habercorn, the center fielder. Came in the game batting .261, 1 for 3 today. That's a .333 average for the day. Chasen checks on Marquez at second twice now, and here comes that payoff. And he gets him! Treg Habercorn walking down to first base, and he came back scowling at the home plate umpire. Couldn't believe he got called out looking. Joe Chasen with his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon, the 2nd one where he's got a Steam member looking.
I think that makes up for a lot of the bad calls that when it gets a strike, the Scouts.
I think you're right, Lance. I think Habercorn's case might have been a little high, but as you mentioned, Scouts have been dealing with a variant strike zone as well. So 2 outs now for Chasen as Max Foley is at the dish. Righty versus righty battle. Here comes the inside pitch, and that one's outside corner for a strike. Joe Chasen wheeling and dealing now. Foley is 1 for 2 with an RBI and a stolen base. He's also walked. As Joe Chasen trying to make Marquez, who's in scoring position at the bag at second, stay honest, limit his lead. Habercorn early in the game tried to steal from second to third, so we know the Steam are willing to throw runners. And here comes the side, and it's going to be fouled off of his own leg. So insult to injury to Max Foley. Is not only is he going to get a strike against him to go in 2, he's going to have to deal with the pain of a foul ball just hit off his inner thigh.
And he has the little protector for his shin but that one a little above the shin, so yeah, he's going to feel every bit of that one.
For Max Foley. But he's going to have to get right back in there. And it's an 0-2 count. Let's check down at Hyde, who's the third base coach. So 2 outs here, 2 strikes against Max Foley. Joe Chasen trying to get out of the Plymouth Scouts up by 2, 7-5. Thanks for listening to Lance Morris and myself, Terry Lash. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. And he checked it. Just checked it, did not go around. So the count is now 1-2. It was close, but good job from Foley to hold off on that one.
Yeah, definitely in time on that one. Close, but definitely clear. He checked in time.
1-2 now. Chasen on the mound. Slowly raises that left knee, and he throws. And now it's going to ground it over to Solomon, and he missed it! It's a misplay by Lee Solomon, and Gilcrease is going home. Play at the plate, and it's stopped by Joe Chasen. Why is the only question. As that was going to be a play at the plate, and Levi Gilcrease has to be furious in center as he was trying to throw. As he was trying to play it, and it would have been very close. We've seen 2 putouts from center field from Levi Gilcrease, and the 6'3" Chasen got his glove on that one. So now on second base, off of the error from Lee. Crazy turn of events there. And here comes Andre Jernigan. First one's away for a ball. Jernigan last time had an RBI fielder's choice where he got on the first. Marquez was out at second. Major Marquez just came around to score second. And then the error from Solomon brought Marquez home. 7-6 your score. That pitch outside corner for a strike. Evens it up at 1-1. This game between the Scouts and the Steam from Cincinnati, Ohio at Western Hills High School's campus has been back and forth. Very dramatic throughout the contest. 1-1 pitch. Now it's going to be hit back towards Chasen. And he's going to routinely throw to Lincoln Reed, and that will do it. But not before a run is given up. That's going to be the second run against Chasen, but neither of his runs were earned because the first one went to Joey Levitt for his third earned run of the game. And because of that error to Lee Solomon, Chase is not going to be credited with an earned run either.
And online, it has a little play-by-play thing on point streak. And back to the hit from Foley, a safe error by Solomon, and then advances to second on an error by the left fielder. But Gilcrease was the one who threw the ball in, not Bravo.
Yeah, there's definitely Gilcrease in center field, and I don't think you could possibly call an error on him either. If anything, it's an error on the ball off his glove behind David Gaunt.
Okay, can we talk about that now? You've seen Levi do that many times. Why are you trying to get in the way of that ball?
I don't know. I think Joe might have just lost his head a little bit there. He saw the runner. Maybe you try to avoid runner advancing from second to third because he thought maybe that Max Foley, who was standing on second, might be making his rounds to third. He's trying to limit the damage, but it would have been very close. I'm not sure if Gilcrease would have gunned him down, but I would not bet against him either. It's twice this year he's thrown it from center field to get a play at the plate.
That's exactly right. We don't know for sure whether he would have gotten him out, but the 2 times we've seen Gilcrease make that throw, he has gotten the out.
One thing I know is for sure that it's not an error against Jonathan Bravo, so maybe wrote down that way on point streak, but that was definitely Levi Gilcrease throwing it in. But nevertheless, 7-6 score now, top of the 8th inning. And that brings back Lance. What's the side for the Scouts?
It will be Austin Orr to lead it off, and it'll be Kyle Carnahan and then David Gaunt.
And Austin shows bunt, pulls it back for a ball. Austin tonight, 0-for-2, has been walked and hit by a pitch. So he's been on base twice As a 1-0 count against them now. Ken Ruberg steering the game from Thomas More College, and that one just misses. I thought that one was a strike as well, so both teams dealing with a moving strike zone tonight. 2-0 pitch now to Austin Orr from Ruberg. And that one's low for a ball. No qualms with that call. 3. Watch it all the way back in the top of the first inning. Got to second before we stranded there on the top of the first. 7-6 Scouts. Scouts got 4 of the runs back in the top of the 4th inning. They scored in the last inning when an RBI single from Miles Wright. That one's going to be another walk to Austin Orr. So Austin Orr walks for the 2nd time today.
And this will be the 3rd time he gets on base as he got on in the 6th inning after being hit by a pitch.
And that's going to be the 6th total walk of the game for the Steam. And that's going to try to tie the Scouts record with 6 walks as well. So both these teams giving up a lot of base runners. That's going to bring on Kyle Carnahan, who also walked last time he was up. He's 1 for 3 with a single RBI. That was back in the 3rd inning. And he shows bunt. That's not going to be bunted. Ruber trying to get to that one. Miscommunication, so it's going to be a bunt single. And the exact opposite of what we saw between Joe Chasen and Kyle Carnahan, we see with the Steam as Ken Ruberg gets in the way of Adam Bolin. That's going to be an RBI bunt single by the 3rd hitter, Kyle Carnahan. So now runners on 1st and 2nd with no outs here to start the top of the 8th inning. And it's going to bring up David Gaunt. David, and out last time he shows bunt, and he's going to get a bunt. They're going to throw it towards 3rd base, and it's going to be an errant throw, and he's safe. As Bolin cannot stay on the bag. The back of his heel just came off.
They're going to go out there and argue that one.
Adam Bolin, a diving effort. As manager Pat High is going to come out to argue that call. It was very close. We're staring right at it here. Bolin was definitely leaning when he caught it. I don't know if he came off completely or not.
I think he started off on the base, and then as the ball was coming towards him, he slowly started to fall off the base. So I don't think he had enough on there to declare he actually got his foot on the bag.
It was definitely a bang-bang call, a tough one for the umpire to make, standing between pitcher's mound and 2nd base, because it was on the outside corner of the 3rd base, the Scouts' dugout, where the action was taking place. As Adam Bolin was falling off of, he was leaning like the Tower of Pisa in Italy, and I don't know if he was able to stay on or not. But the umpire rules that he was off the bag, and now safe over there at 3rd base is Austin Orr, as it looks like it was going to be a bunt turn into an out like we saw earlier with Lincoln Reed and getting Jonathan Bravo out at 2nd, but this time David got on with here in the top of the 8th inning as Austin Orr was walked by Ken Ruberg, and then a bunt single by Kyle Carnahan advanced him to 2nd, and then that fielder's choice bunt from David Gaunt put Austin Orr on 3rd. So Chris Jenga, the home plate number, is now going to get a talking to. I don't know if they have the possibility to change the call, but we're going to see what's possibly happening here. As of right now, they're going to say safe after deliberating. Pat High cannot be happy, but bases loaded now for the Scouts as Jonathan Bravo comes up to the plate in a crucial situation. Top of the 8th inning, bases loaded, 7-6 Scouts. They can further that lead.
A quick score update. One game has gone final. The Hamilton Joes beat the Lima Locos 8-3, and Lake Erie Monarchs trail the Lorraine County Ironman 5-4 in the top of the 9th.
They will know that an error by Riemann. That first pitch is outside by the side winding Ken Ruberg from Thomas More College. The 3rd righty the Scouts have seen this game Steam. They have 30 men on the roster. That one's going to be tipped backwards into the Fisherman's netting. 1-on-1 count now for Jonathan Bravo. He is 1 for 4 in this game. Has a couple strikeouts on last time. We rounded out to third. But no outs here. Had to think any ball in play is going to score a runner. Down one's outside from Ruberg. Counts now 2-1. He did walk the leadoff hitter of this inning, Austin Orr, who's standing over there on third base right now for a controversial call. They said Adam Bolin was off the bag from the delivery of Austin Riemann, excuse me, and that was going to tip towards second base, and that's not going to be anyone, so a fly out. Yeah, infield fly, as Lance mentioned, to Carrier, and now it's going to be one down for the Scouts.
That's the second time in 2 games Bravo's hit into an infield fly.
And know what that means? It's a double play situation, inning ending situation for Lincoln Reed, who is 0 for 4 in this contest with 3 strikeouts. One out here, bases chalked for the Scouts. Sidewinding pitch, and that's going to be hit towards second base, and it's going to be misplayed. And they get the runner at second. That was David Gaunt as a ball bounced past Ken Ruberg. Then it was misplayed by Danny Carrier over there at second. He was able to flip it to Jernigan to get off Gaunt at second just in time, but not before Austin Orr comes in and scores and advances us 8-6. So 2 outs now for the Scouts with runners on first and third. Here comes the pitch inside. Christian Binger's at the plate. He walked last time. Counts 0-1 to him now. So Lincoln Reed with the RBI there, standing over at first base. 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. 8-6 Scouts, high scoring affair. Christian Binger hitting on one right back of the middle, and Jernigan puts that one away. And that will do it for the top of the 8th inning, but not before the Scouts put another run across the board, scores 8. So Lincoln Reed got that RBI on a fielder's choice. And Austin Orr came around to score as David Gaunt was put out at second on that one. Kyle Carnahan left home. So an RBI fielder's choice for Lincoln Reed. He's still over 5 in the game, but has gotten on twice and has an RBI now.
We're going to see Joe Chasen out here for yet another inning of work, and this is easily the most innings he's.
You're right, Lance. Joe Chasen usually coming in to close for the Scouts. This time he came in all the way back in the 5th inning. Now we're going to the bottom of the 8th. He has 2 2/3 innings pitched. Trying to finish this one 3 2/3 innings pitched. Don't see any activity out of the Scouts bullpen yet. I imagine we'll see it soon. Maybe there is. Like we said, our view is obstructed a little bit. Actually, there definitely is some activity in the Scouts bullpen. I stand corrected. I just can't tell you who it is.
Very helpful, Terry.
Thank you, Lance. I'm trying my best over here. That's going to bring up Gans to the plate. Bottom of the 8th inning, 8-6 Xenia Scouts. As Trey Gans is coming out yet again. This will be the 4th at bat for Gans. He's 0 for 2 for a walk. Has been back up since the 5th inning. And here comes a pitch from Chase, and that one's outside for a ball. One out count here to Gaines. All right, Gaines, the lefty. Under the Gaines, and that one's going to be fouled yet again to the left side. Trey Gaines has hit it in that area multiple times this game. He's fouled away a lot of pitches. That evens the count up back at 1-1. 8-6 Scouts. Bottom of the 8th, no outs, no one on. Joe Chasen. If he gets another out, we'll be completely through 3 innings of work. And that one's outside. Count is now 2-1. And you mentioned, Lance, this is by far the longest start of the season for Chasen. This is his 4th appearance. He's had 3 innings. Gans out here. He'll have 3 innings pitched this afternoon. 2-1 count. That one's going to be hit to left field. Jonathan Bravo trying to get to it in time at the wall. He slides. He catches it. He's out. Jonathan Bravo sliding into the chain link fence.
I can tell you who's going to get Spider-Man after that play.
Bravo showing no regard for safety, slides into the dangerous chain link fence, makes the catch at the wall in foul territory, and that puts away Gans. First pitch, Bolin. He's 0 for 3 today. Grounded out to second last time. Can't say enough about the play from Jonathan Bravo on the left, though. 1-0 count. Here comes the pitch. That one is right down the center for a strike. Scouts up 8-6. Here comes that even pitch, and he gets some swinging out of that one. Joe Chasen has been in complete control. I go back over my sheet.
If he goes over him now, it's all your fault.
He has a walk that came around to score and a balk, but no hits. And that one's going to be hit towards Jonathan Bravo in left field, and that one's a lot easier to put away as he moved maybe a foot or two instead of chasing that one all the way down to foul territory to put down Trey Gans, but this time puts down Adam Bolin. And it's going to be ruled an F7 regardless in our score. Alex Corna to the plate. He's 0 for 4 today. Came into the game batting .400. Struck out looking last time. And here comes Chase's pitch. And that one's in the dirt for a ball 1. As they go all the way around, he checked his swing, did Corna. 1-0 to Alex. Alex from Georgetown College in Kentucky. Not DC. Here comes a 1-0 pitch. And ball 2 checks his swing again. So 2 check swings by Corna, showing great patience and stopping ability. So Chasen, 3 1/3 in. Here comes the 2-0. That one curves in there for a strike. Nice break on that pitch from Joe Chasen. Scouts trying to get out of this bottom of the 8th inning. Up 8-6. Want that 2-run lead intact. Swung on and fouled him backwards into the black of the netting. Count is now 2-2 to Alex Corna. Scouts coming in this game 6 and be the first team in the league to get 7 victories. Here comes the pitch. That one's a low one. Now we're full to Alex Corna. Payoff pitch incoming. This will be the second full count that Joe Chasen has had since coming in. Third full count. David gone behind the plate. Shows the strike. And that's going to end the bottom of the 8th inning as Alex Corna goes down looking again. It's gotten little darker here, Lance, but still a beautiful night to watch some baseball for Alex Corna as he watches that one go by for Chasen's 4th strikeout of the day.
And that's one of the things that Coach Cates has been preaching. If you're going to throw the breaking pitch on 2-2, throw it again on 3-2. That's exactly what happened. That's how much Chasen got him looking on a great pitch.
And we'll see Ken Ruberg retake the mound for the Steam. Struggled a little bit in that last inning. He came in relief for Ted Andrews, who pitched an inning in 2/3. And then Ruberg came into the game in the last inning. Gave up a run as Austin Orr was able to come all the way around to score. So 2 runs given up on the day from Ruberg, the side-winding pitcher from Thomas More College. Only one of them earned. That was the last inning. That was Austin Orr, who scored after walking. And then a bunt single from Kyle Carnahan put him on second. David Gaunt got on a fielder's choice, where Austin Orr was safe at third. And then he was hit home by Lincoln Reed on a fielder's choice. And that's how they got the score.
And like we mentioned earlier, the Hamilton Joes beat the Lima Locos 8-3, but another game that has gone final, the Lorain County Ironman beat the Lake Erie Monarchs by a score of 5-4.
So it's been a rough start on Monarchs. And Levi Gilcrease is coming up to the plate. Here comes the first pitch to Levi. He shows bunt. He's going to lay it down. Ruberg picks it up. Going to throw to first. And he gets and Levi Gilcrease out just in time.
And that one was as close as you're going to find a play over there first. I think he just got him out by about a hair on that one.
And that's going to bring up Miles Wright. Miles has been fantastic tonight. 3 for 3 in a walk. Has 3 RBIs. Had a 2 RBI double early in the game, and then last time he got a hit, he had an RBI single. So Miles Wright looks at that first one in there. Ruberg. So 0-1 now to Miles. Here in the top of the 9th inning, 1 down for the Scouts, up 8-6. And here comes Ruberg. He throws to Miles. Now is way outside. 1-1. Miles been on all 4 times. Trying to get on for his 5th time in this ball game. 4 times is already a season high. 3 hits also a season high. He's only the 2nd player on the team to get 3 hits in the game. David Gaunt has done it twice. He didn't against Prius tonight. Will not do so tonight. That was low in the dirt for a ball. Count is now 2-1 to Miles. As Ruberg is trying to get out of this inning. Top of the 9th, Scouts 8-6, 1 out. Can Ruberg. He's going to be swinging towards third base. That one gets hit by Bolin, and Bolin throws the first, and Miles Wright is out for the first time in this game. So Miles is going to finish 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, a stolen base, and a walk. That's going to bring it up to the top of the order, and Lee Solomon is going to come up. And he's at the hexagon, the 6th time he's been up today. Lee last time grounded out on a bunt to the pitcher. Here for a strike. 0-1 now to Solomon. As Ken Ruber is trying to go 1-2-3 to get out of the inning. Keep the lead at 8-6 Scouts. Here comes the 0-1. And check swing by Solomon. That one's a low one away for a ball. Appeal to the umpire. He says safe. So 1-1 your score. These 2 teams will do it again tomorrow at 4:05 at Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio. For the Scouts, if you're in the area. Here's the 1-1 from Ruberg. Good eye by Lee Solomon to stay off of that one. Solomon, 2 for 5 in this game. Does have 2 RBIs on a single. Scoreless. Short. He's going to throwing to first and gets him, and Foley puts it away. So 1-2-3. The Scouts go down, and it'll be 8-6. Going to the bottom of the 9th. Let's see if the Scouts can close it out.
It'll be Thomas Wanning coming on in the 9th inning for the save opportunity.
It was Thomas Wanning yesterday. He had an inning pitched in Athens. Give up 1 hit but no runs before he was taken out and replaced by Seth Hallmark.
the Cincinnati Marketplace Plaza.
Thomas on the season. This will be his 4th appearance. He's coming in with an 8.52 ERA. Actually, this will be his 5th appearance. He has 6 in the 3rd innings pitch, has given up 9 hits, 6 earned runs, 5 walks. That's been his problem in some games. And he has 1 strikeout, but he just needs to get 3 batters here, and he's going to get his first save of the season. So we're here in the Scouts.
So the final line for Joe Chasen went 3 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, just 1 walk, had 4 strikeouts.
The Joe Chasen did a good job.
From Senior University, number 12, Thomas Wanning.
So Thomas Wanning on the mound now. And Austin Riemann is coming up to the plate. So here comes Austin Riemann. First pitch in there for Wanning, in there for a strike. So a good start to the game for Thomas Wanning, the 4th pitcher we've seen today. All of them righties. And here's the second pitch that was going to be grounded over to Kyle Carnahan. High hop on the second bounce, and he throws to Lincoln Reed, and 1 down. Austin Riemann goes down for the 2nd time today. He'll finish 1 for 3 with as we're in the bottom of the order for the Steam. Thomas Wanning, 2 outs a season. Here comes Danny Carrier. That one's inside. Almost hit him. Would have been catastrophic. Danny Carrier in this game. He is 1 for 2. This is only his 4th. He's doubled home and run. He's hitting one of that towards Jonathan Bravo in left field, and that one's going to be gone. Thomas Wanning gives up a homer here in the bottom of the 9th inning, and that's going to cut it down to a 1-run lead as Danny Carrier goes yard.
Touch him out, Danny Carrier.
Carrier coming into this game batting 111, and he's going to finish the day a homer, 2 RBIs, and a walk, and 3 runs scored. So absolutely fantastic day for Danny Carey. And that brings up Adrian Marquez. 1 out here, 8-7 now. That pitch is outside from Wanning. Scouts 2 outs away from closing out this one. Here comes the second pitch. That one's in there for a strike outside corner to Marquez. Marquez 0 for 1 today. He's walked twice. He scored to give the Steam their 6th run of this game. He also had a 16-pitch at bat in the 5th inning. That one's outside for a ball. Counts 2-1. So Thomas Wanning just gave up a homer. And now he's going to try to work his way back. And he gets the strike to even it back up. Count is now 2-2. Wanting a strike away from getting out the second batter here in the bottom of the 9th. And he's going to step off the mound, regroup himself, as will Marquez. Be a better spot to get your first hit of the season. And for Adrian Marquez, here's the 2-2, and that one's going to be grounded towards Lincoln. Just foul. That would have been the 2nd out of the inning. Lucky break for Adrian Marquez, the left fielder from Wright State.
And if a little more, he could find a way to keep that one fair and get it over to first easily for the 2nd out.
2-2 for Wanning. Bends all the way to gets some swinging. No first hit for you, Adrian Marquez, as Thomas Wanning gets his first strikeout of the game, his second of the season.
I didn't know I was broadcasting with the Soup Nazi.
Gotta throw a sign for the referees every now and then. In the bottom of the ninth, Scouts 1 out away from victory. And we're going to the top of the lineup for the 5th time. And Trey Habercorn, he's 1 for 4 with a triple. Now on outside for a ball. Counts 1-0 to Trey. Thomas Wanning has given up a homer here in the bottom of the ninth. Trying to avoid blowing the save. Send the Scouts home with a victory. Here's the 1-0, and that one's going to be hit to deep right field, but foul. That one might have cleared the chain link monster in right.
That one was at about 300 feet foul, at least.
Wanting get there. Is that too far? 1-1 count. High drama here in Cincinnati. That one is low for a ball. 2-1 now to Habercorn. Thomas Wanning from Xavier University. Trey Habercorn from Cincinnati. Cross way to finish this game. 2-1. That's going to be lined over. Foul territory by first base. And it's going to be a 2-2-1 strike away from his first save of the year. And a Scouts victory. 8-7 is your score. 2 is across the board. Two balls, 2 outs. Thomas Wanning trying to get his second strikeout. Here comes the 2-2. Inside and a ball. We're at a full count, folks. 3-2 count now. Thomas Wanning, he fires inside. And he walks the tying run. At full. Habercorn is going to walk for his first time of the game, and he represents the tying run over there at first base. And that's going to bring up Max Foley, who got on second time. After Lee Solon misplayed that grounder to short the last time up, as Coach Bubba Cates is going to have a talk of Thomas Wanning right now. There is activity in the bullpen. I can't see who it is. But Thomas Wanning only 1 out away. You have to imagine he's going to stick with him here. So he walks the batter now. Max Foley at the plate. He's a potential winning run. We've had 1 homer here in the bottom ninth. We could have a walk-off by Max Foley, the first baseman for Evansville. Max Foley's had a solid game. He is 1 for 3 with an RBI back in the 3rd inning, the bottom of the 3rd. He also stole a base. He's also walked, and he got on with an error last time. So Thomas Wanning on the mound, trying to save the victory for the Scouts and head back home to Xenia, Ohio with a W. 8-7 is your score. 2 outs. A fresh count to the new batter, Max Foley. Trey Habercorn sits in. It's past the backstop. And a wild pitch from Thomas Wanning. So after that meeting, he's going to send Habercorn to second scoring position. David Gaunt is going to have a meeting with Wanning. Now, you got to wonder how much longer the leash is for Thomas. As the Scouts just need 1 more out to get out of this. A runner on second now as Habercorn is a wild pitch over to second. The second wild pitch. The Scouts have had the game. 1-0 pitch. Alwyn's in there for a strike as Wanning rebounds, shows his composure. 2 strikes away from Max Foley, the righty at the plate. 2 righties in great battle here. 1-1 count. It's even. Here it comes. That one just misses. It doesn't break back in enough. Count is now 2-1. Wanting bends all the way down. He's getting this call from David Gaunt. Here comes that pitch. He throws, and that one is in there for a strike. Foley thought it was high.
That did look to be in about the same location as the pitch right before that was called a ball.
A little bit of inconsistency. We've dealt with it all game, and we're a strike away from victory. Thomas Wanting, 2-2 here to Max Foley. Can he get this last out? Here pitch, and that one's foul back behind us. Out like a rocket was David Gaunt as it was tipped in the air. He is ready to make the game-winning catch from behind the plate, but nothing doing. It's going to be 2-2 again. 2 outs here, folks. 8-7 score. Scouts trying to hold. And Habercorn, he was walked and wild pitched. 2-2. Wanting. He wheels and deals. And that one's going to be a hit in foul territory. And it's going to bounce out the top of the dugout of the Steam. Lincoln Reed. He needed a step ladder on that one. He could have leaped towards it. Great effort from both Wanting and Lincoln Reed. A 2-2 count. Last two have been fouled away by Max Foley, the first baseman from Evansville. Came in the game batting 364. 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Now it's going to be a hit towards right field. And Miles Wright puts it away in fitting fashion as he had a fantastic game. And they dealt with drama. They almost let him back, but the Scouts hold on for the 8-6 victory. And Thomas Wanting gets his first save of the season. It's 7-2 Scouts, and we're heading back to Xenia, Lance.
And I gotta admit, I was a little scared on that one after he gave up the home run to Carrier. Had luckily a 2-run cushion, so they were able to hang on to this one. You don't even need to write it down. We're getting Miles the player of the game.
Yeah, Miles is going to be the player of the game. And it's just a fantastic effort from the Scouts. And looking forward for Miles' first player of the game this year. But let's take you back. 9th inning. It started off with Austin Remus in the 7th spot. Austin Remus, he grounded out to Kyle Carnahan at third base. And then it was a solo shot from Danny Carrier. As the that made us an 8-7 ball game. As we're right now in the press trying to finagle to get back up here. And then it was Adrian Marquez in the 9th spot. He struck out swinging to Thomas Wanting. And then it was Treg Habercorn who was walked and then wild pitch to second. A lot of drama going on. And then with 2 outs, runner on second, 2-2 count. Thomas Wanting got Max Foley to fly out to Miles Wright in right field. And that ended the ball game. Lance Morris, a crazy affair, 8-7. The Scouts ended with 12 hits. The Steam only had 5. A couple of untimely errors for the Scouts really hurt them in this contest. But what are your final thoughts of the game?
You know, Terry, it's exactly what you hope for coming into a game. You hope that your team can come out with the win. Didn't know it was going to be in quite that dramatic of fashion after that big 4th inning. They put up 4 runs. Just an awesome game. Had a lot of guys did very well. Some guys struggled, of course, but the game that Miles had today had some struggles this past season at college, called it the worst season of his entire life. But today goes 3 for 4, couple RBIs, and I couldn't be happier to have Miles right up here as our player of the game.
And Lance will step outside of the headset, try to get the camera turned around on us in a Johannes family connection, as Miles Wright is your player of the game. 8-7, your Scouts wins. We adjust the camera right now. Thank you for all those still listening at home. Lance will take over for this one, and we're going to be looking over this way towards the camera. And Miles, what a game. What an incredible game.
It was a lot of fun.
3 for 4 doubles. What are you thinking up there on the plate today?
I'm trying to get better. This has been a long time coming. I had a hard season this year, and I'm trying to get better. Played every game, so each at bat, I'm trying not to think about the at bat before it, just saying, all right, good at bat every time.
Let's go back to that first double. I thought it was just going to be single, and I think you caught the left fielder off guard as well as you dove head first to get over to second. Were you thinking you were going to get two the entire time you hit it?
Oh, yeah. Anytime I hit a ball down the left field line, I'm trying to get two.
So as soon as that was off your bat, you already know you're going to the second base bag.
For sure.
All right, it was a close game throughout. It seemed like every time you guys got a little bit up on this team, they came right back. But then at the end, it was after a home run given up by Wanting. Runner on second base. What are you thinking at that point with 2 outs?
Man, I was hoping that he would give it to one of our outfielders so that we could shut him down. We got 3 good guys up there who can hose anyone down at the plate, so that's what I was hoping for. But I'll take the pop-up any day. And
you got the pop-up to end the game in fitting fashion. A crazy 8-7 victory, a very team effort. What can you say about Joe Chasen, who came on in relief?
Man, I think Joe has been working hard this year, and he's had ups and downs, but today was definitely one of his better days. And he gritted through it, and he didn't have his stuff all the time, but he made do with what he had, and that's a sign of a good pitcher. And Miles now 7-2 on the year, and this will be the first team to get to 7 wins on the season in the league. How's it feel? Feels pretty good. We got to keep going, though. And you guys will be in action tomorrow. Miles, thank you so much for coming up here to the press box. And Miles Wright, our player of the game, he was 3 for 4 tonight with 3 RBIs, only the second scout on the season to get 3 hits in the game. David Gaunt was the other one as well, as you get a nice little picture of Miles right there, the right fielder from St. Edwards in Houston, Texas. And it's going to bring Lance Morris back to the headset. And Lance, just an absolutely incredible game. As we get back over here, he's trying to finagle this one. We got a chorus, and we see Jeff Connor, our stat guy, giving us a little wave. And, well, Lance will try to cuddle in with me over here. And as we wrap this one up, and Lance, just crazy game. 8-7 final. A lot of drama at the end. Thomas Wanting gave up that solo shot. What were you thinking when Habercorn's over there in second, the tying run?
I was thinking, oh no, please don't blow it. And that's exactly what happened. Thomas didn't blow it, kept the game intact. It's about as well as you can hope for. After having the 2-run cushion, you give up 1. You kind of expect that time to time. Things don't always go perfectly. So to keep that win intact, great job from Thomas Wanting to keep his composure after giving up that home run.
We saw 4 pitchers in this game for the Scouts. And it started off with Dylan Donnelly, who pitched 3 innings, 6 total walks for the Scouts. I think that's kind of what hurt him a little bit. Only gave up 5 hits, so 6 walks, 5 hits, 7 runs total, 7 strikeouts for the team. For the pitching staff, if it wasn't for Miles Wright, it's just unbelievable day at the plate. For sure, Joe Chasen wins player of the game. He pitched 3 2/3 inning of spotless baseball, and he gave the Scouts some much-needed relief when they needed it most.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. Dylan struggled a little bit today. Only gave up the 1 hit, but had a couple walks that went against him, so only went the 3 innings. He's dealt with a little bit of arm soreness coming into this year, so he's still trying to get back on track as a starter, so good luck to him going forward. But Joy Levitt came in, didn't have his stuff today, did have some strikeouts, only had a couple strikeouts, gave up the 3 runs, didn't have an earned run coming into the day. So to kind of just keep it together the way Joey did after not having his stuff, that speaks well to him. And then Joe Chasen coming in, we had only seen him in a few innings coming into the day. So for him to go that amount of innings and only give up a few hits according to Point Streak, couldn't have much of a better day coming in that big of a relief moment.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast 3 innings pitched coming into this game on the season combined today, 3 2/3 innings pitched. Joe Chasen, absolutely fantastic. We want to recap one more time. 8-7 is your final score. Thank you for all of those watching at home that has been following us on Twitter. Earlier we saw Jeff Connor, our stats guru. He was sitting behind us. We'll have to thank him for live tweeting all of this game and every single game. We had so much fun tonight. We're going to do it again tomorrow. 4:05 first pitch between these Scouts and the Steam. Remember to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for constant updates on the team. And also XeniaScouts.com will have a game recap of this crazy contest later tonight, including interviews with what we just saw with Miles Wright and head coach Bubba Cates. But for Lance Morris, I'm Terry Lash. Good night, and God bless everyone.